Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deckin Around. My name is Tyler,
I am Steve.
and today we are so excited to have Ryan Schlutz on the show. Ryan is a phenomenal magician. You may know Ryan from his False Anchor brand. He recently released his V2 and is actually dropping his V3 tomorrow on Kickstarter. So we get a nice little pre-launch chat with Ryan tonight. We're going to talk about the brand, magic, and everything in between, basically. So you excited, Steve?
I am excited. Is it dropping tomorrow or 10 days from now?
I think it's dropping tomorrow, man, isn't it?
Is it? I guess we'll find out when we talk to Ryan.
Yeah, I see him shaking his head in the background. He's like, yeah, I had a feeling it was Friday, which I'm excited about, though, dude, because it means it's a perfect lineup for us. It's probably less than even 24 hours before it goes live, which is really exciting.
Yeah,
so
exciting. It's going to be good because they're pretty dope. Not going to lie.
They are really dope. And this is Ryan's first Kickstarter. So we're going to find out after the fact how much he enjoyed that versus direct to market. Yeah. So, guys, not even without further ado here, before we jump into it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate when you guys like and subscribe. Obviously, it helps the video get more attraction and it gets more people to check out Ryan's message here today. So, click that little button.
Don't forget to ring the bell. Ding-a-ling.
There you go. And we're going to take a quick word from our sponsor here while Steve's ringing his bell.
Ding-a-ling.
Join us as we celebrate the marvelous and fascinating things that surround us, all in the palm of your hands. You will be mesmerized. Follow us on Instagram at Marvelous Decks and at marvelousdecks.com.
You will be mesmerized.
For our second sponsor this week, MuseumKits.com strives to bring you museum quality prints of some of your favorite playing cards out there. In fact, they just recently teamed up with Lorenzo from Stockholm 17 to bring you archival grade prints of his award-winning House of the Rising Spade court cards. So make sure to
take my money.
Make sure to check out their link down below, museumkits.com/S17. Honestly, absolutely phenomenal artwork, as you all know, but imagine having it on the wall of your house. So check them out.
Thank you so much, Shiro.
Who's your dad?
Oh, geez. Oh, boy.
Thank you, Shiro. We appreciate it.
That was the wrong button.
Steve is dangerous with the soundboard. We all know this, but it's always fun to see.
Oops. Sorry about that. Thank you very much, Shiro.
Well, guys, without further ado, we are going to bring Ryan on. I'm already super excited because Ryan's in the background and he was like, don't forget your ad. So he's on top of it with us here today, and we appreciate that. But everyone give a big round of applause for Ryan Schlutz. What up, Ryan?
Oh, I got the... I love that intro.
That's what Steve meant to do with the donation before, but instead it was the Who's Your Daddy one.
Daddy one. No, the show got R-rated very quickly. I like that.
I was on the wrong bank. Damn.
Dude, this is part of the problem with having a soundboard too, is there's so many great sounds, but you never know where you are like mapping wise. And so if you hit the wrong button, it could be game over. Yeah.
I haven't been in too much trouble with that, but you know.
Imagine if you run like some kind of crazy adult show and the kids show, and I can see that going horribly wrong very fast.
That's where the money for 2 soundboards is without a doubt worth it in that situation.
Just label them very clearly.
Exactly, man. So Ryan, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. This is awesome to be on here.
Dude, we're excited. I mean, honestly, Steve and I have always chatted about having you on for a while, and we were really excited when you reached out to be on. And I think it's really cool that the timing around this is just so perfect with your launch tomorrow. So it's going to be fun, man. This is the V3 of the False Anchors coming out tomorrow, right?
Yep, V3s are coming out. I'm very excited. First Kickstarter, like you guys said. You got both of them right here. Boom, V3s in the house.
They look so
good. You know what? It's no big deal because boom, both V3 in the house.
I wish I had like 2 sets. So I could just be like, here's 4 for you, but I got them too. What's up?
That's a screenshot for you. If my mom's watching, hey mom, check it out.
Hey mom, I don't know if my mom might be in the chat eventually. So hey, somebody take a picture of this and they can post it after. Solomon's in here. Solomon, do you?
She said she might sign in, so I don't know. Maybe
we'll get a like.
Oh, wait a second. I gotta get up there.
Crazy-eyed Steve.
I'm gonna screenshot. That's my tomorrow launching video right there.
Awesome, perfect.
Oh my god! Scrap the trailer. Just play some Deckin Around at the top of your Kickstarter,
That's
right?
all I want now.
Oh my god! Dude, so how has life been for you? Obviously, the Kickstarter prep has been probably taking up a lot of your time. But how's COVID life been treating you?
COVID life. Yeah.
What's COVID?
What's this? Is this a real thing? No, it's been good. I mean,
hold on.
Yeah.
I got to interrupt you because your mom's here. So
she is here.
Are
There's
you
my mom.
I'm mom. I love it. Hi, Carol. How you doing?
it's Karen, not Carol.
Oh, geez, Karen. How you doing?
Yeah, Karen.
How you doing, Karen?
Boy.
My apologies.
Oh my god, we need to get my mom in here.
Oh my god.
She's here. Yeah.
That is some amazing support, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, not only is your mom on, she's on before the 10-minute mark, so she gets the PG version of the show.
Right.
I mean, I always say in like every book I write, dedication, I said my mom, who's seen more card tricks than any human being should ever see. So thank you again. Thank you again.
Dude, we're gonna have to pull her in a little bit. Ask her what it was like growing up with you, or having you grow up with her.
That would be hilarious.
We'll have to have her give us the inside scoop.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Now, never mind. I think her camera's broken. I'm pretty sure she doesn't know how to use the internet. I'm just gonna go with that.
Actually, she looks like she knows how to use it pretty well to
Dude,
me.
she's even logged in, has her own YouTube account. Yeah. She's set, man.
Oh Jesus. Oh god. Okay.
Dude, yeah. So COVID obviously has been going on for a while now, but how is that has it impacted you at all? Has it given you time for motivation related to false anchors or your other endeavors?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, luckily my main job, I'm a full-time finance manager, so that went remote, so it wasn't a big deal. I was able to work from home, but then usually I'm traveling to all these conventions, this and that, but then it just kind of maybe stay home and be creative. In that time I released a brand new app for the iPhone for Magic. I put out a new book. I worked on these new cards. Like, I'm working on several other projects. So I guess for me, the time home, just a chance to catch up and just be more creative. So I guess for me, it wasn't, I'm not a full-time performer musician, so I didn't have to deal with all the, missing shows and trying to figure out Zoom. I was able to kind of insulate myself from all that and just focus on the creativity part, which is what I love. So
that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Dude, your aunt's here
I
too.
gotta say hi to my aunt
Aunt Connie,
as well.
Aunt Connie's here.
Oh
Dude.
man. The whole family's coming out.
Yeah, you brought out the whole. Is this like a Schlutz family reunion here?
Apparently, I mean, we're only missing. They're sisters. So they're only missing one more. I don't know where she's at. So
get with the program, other sister. Come on.
Yeah.
Maybe she's sleeping.
Yeah. She's probably working on like us slackers over here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, hey, it's late night. We all got to have a little fun and unwind, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, dude. So tell us a little bit about the False Anchors brand. How did you get started with the idea behind False Anchors?
Yeah, I think it started with me because I've been releasing Magic. I had like a few DVDs out on the market. I released like a book a long time ago, and then I started doing lectures, and then people started like gravitating towards like my style of Magic, and I never really considered like I had a style, but I guess after a while you start to develop it, and people started commenting on it, and then I kind of did it like a self-reflection and kind of dived in deep. And I was chatting at a convention here locally with my buddy Jimmy Ichihana, who you might have seen on Fool Us. He's an awesome guy.
Nice.
So I was chatting with him, and I was talking about, man, I should write like I was kind of burnt out on DVDs, and anyways, that medium was kind of going away. Anyways, everything's going online, and I was like, oh, I always wanted to do like, I love books. I'm old fashioned. I love like buying. I have a huge bookshelf of Magic books and stuff. And I was like, I want to write like a small book series, very limited run. But what do I call it? So then I was like, well, how do I describe my Magic? And then the term false anchors just came to mind.
Cool.
And then by a lucky coincidence, I wasn't even thinking at the time, it allows all the different kind of branding with the anchors and all the anchor behind me. So that was just lucky.
Right.
But
that's definitely lucky. And it's good though. And I'm glad it fits in with the brand because it really is a pretty personal, I think, touch with it as well. Like you really do make it a personal story, which I think is very cool and very important for any brand.
And it's a cool name.
For me, yeah, it's to me like the false anchors. For those who don't know, it just stands for. It's basically changing someone's perception to make it their reality, and that's like the tag frame. And that's like right on my sleeve. Perception is reality, right? So that's my whole thing. You anchor someone's you're doing a trick. You anchor someone's belief to a false anchor, and that becomes their reality going forward. because what is, that's that, and then how this whole deep conversation, what is perception, what is reality, and that's one of those 3 a.m. magician conversations that you can just go down a rabbit hole. You usually get Garrett Thomas in there, and you just listen to him talk for a while about it, and then it's great. It's great. It's definitely good times.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, False Anchor is just a cool name.
Yeah, but it's really, I'm really happy with it. It really taken off branding wise. I realize it just from a business side, it really reminded me how important it is to really brand something, because as a name, it's just not as sticky as the brand False Anchor is, that people know. Less people know my name now. More people know the brand than they know me, which is great. It means it's working. So I love that.
Nice.
And that's definitely
God. My mom's here.
Yeah, your mom's here too.
My mom's here now. What up, mama?
Yeah, I think it's funny that you just mentioned the brand and the kind of the stickiness of the brand. It really is so important. But I think one of the great things that you do is that people also know you are behind the brand. It's not just like a faceless brand. So like you said, you're starting to get a lot more name recognition as well. But that's so important because a lot of times, especially in a small community and for a small brand, that personal feel and that personal recognition is just as important, because it makes people have a more, human to human connection with the brand versus, some random nameless company that you don't really know. And, prime example, and granted, like I think at some point you get to a level that it doesn't matter as much, but like I know your other kind of entrepreneurial pursuit is fitness clothing, and you think about like I can't name the people behind someone like Gymshark, or Under Armour. Like
I've never even heard of Gymshark.
They're another like big one too, and it's like, and it's just
you
like
don't need to know them. You just need to know mine. NWC
exactly.
all the way.
There you go. And but that's the thing, and I know you behind the brand, and I think even on that side of the brand, you're very personally interactive with it, which is so important and really allows that connection.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about me being more the creative. Like magic to me is a hobby, and I think because of that, I really respect like when I put things out. I really put my full like heart and soul into it. I really believe it's good. So like people, I'm very easy to get a hold of, and I love that the community reaches out to me. I'm constantly in conversations with different, either an Instagram or Facebook Messenger, with people reaching out, asking questions, or just hey, giving me feedback, giving me new ideas for new products, and so I love the community around it. That's my favorite part, honestly. Yeah, it's just I love people reaching out, and I finally found a Facebook group for one of my tricks, and that's the coolest thing I've ever done, because now it's like usually you just get the sporadic kind of comments, but now you got everyone like centralized on one thing, and it's just really cool to build it up.
That's the way to do it. No, and that's a journey for sure, and I'm sure, like you said, you're so excited about it because it is a long and arduous journey to get to that point, and it's a lot of work. And even once you get there, it's still continued work to maintain. But that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, you always hear that story, people like who finally kind of take off. I've been putting tricks out since like 2009 or something like that. So that's so long ago. Yeah. So it's not so it wasn't like it was just like one day I had things on the market, which is a very slow process, and you keep building up and keep building your name, keep building your brand, and that's why I'm against the hard work.
I think that's the road for everybody, though, right? It's not, that's how it has to be. You have to, put your grind on and just keep pushing. And, eventually if you do the time and your brand and product is good, then, it'll get there, and obviously it doesn't happen for everybody, but don't
100%. And that's why you said that you mentioned the clothing company, because the same thing, I took the same like love and passion for like have with the magic and all the creativity, because I taught myself photography and videography, and now I can channel that into the clothing company, which is great. Because I love fitness is the other part I do outside. I love working out, and I teamed up with a great friend of mine, Kemper, who's a personal trainer, and he's just as entrepreneurial as I am. So It's a great partnership, and he's definitely a lot younger than me, so he has a lot more energy, keeps me going. So, but I love building that clothing brand, and also like I love magic, but I always want to treat it as like a hobby and just something I do for me for fun. And like I would love to build my reputation on this NWC clothing company, because like for me, that's something that I just can see growing and really is. And we have a lot of big things planned this year and next year that I'm just super excited to see where it all goes.
Nice.
Yeah, me too.
Well, and like you said too, for you, magic, really, you want to keep it a hobby. And I think that's why a lot of that passion comes through for you, because even when you do come out with things, it's not necessarily a job. Even with the deck, we were talking the other day a little bit about it, and I know how excited you are for the deck and how excited you are for the Kickstarter, but also you were really excited about the fact that like you get a bunch of decks to play with that you like, and they're personalized to you, which I think is something so great. And we always see that with magicians who come out with their decks. They're like, at the end of the day, I could sell 10. Really, I just want decks I can play with all the time. And like, that's key. That passion helps not only sell more and make people connected more, but it also makes it so that if you end up with 1,000 decks in your hand, like that's what you wanted. It worked out either way.
Yeah, I really people. How many decks do you have at home? Like even before I made my own cards, I had a lot of playing cards.
Yeah,
So and then when I was performing more, I went through cards a lot faster. And living in Florida with the humidity, cards don't last very long outside. One deck, it's one use pretty much. You just open it up and you might as well throw it away because it's just not going to last.
That's brutal.
So now, with the first deck, go ahead. Sorry, Steve.
No, go ahead.
I'll say with the first. Oh man, now we're talking. Now we're doing the talking thing.
That's we did the same thing in the pre-show. Remember?
I think
you're first. Go ahead.
No, I was saying with the V1s. Yeah, I put this out. It was just like I woke up and I was like, I just want a deck of cards, and just like you said, it's like as long as I break even, who cares? And even if I don't break even, I don't really care because I'm going to have all these decks because I'm going to instead of buying Costco cards, bicycles all day long. I can have my own deck, and then the cool thing is I'll have so many I can just give them away and spread the love. And that's what I did. I honestly didn't sell that many. I probably broke even. And then every convention I would just have I carry around a bag just full of decks. That way I would just be like Santa Claus of decks, and to magicians, this is like the best thing ever to give somebody, right?
Yeah.
But then I think doing that unintentionally started spreading the word of the deck, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't even thinking about that. And then people started using them, posting pictures, and then a friend approached me about the V2s, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make this one a little different, and I started going a little bit deeper, and then by the time that came out, and people really enjoyed the color, like you guys, I know you guys like the color and stuff.
Oh man,
that's gorgeous.
So good.
And then I took all my lessons learned from the first two decks, and that's why the third deck I was really like, all right, this is when I started taking it seriously. I was like, okay, if I made a deck for me. I was like, really for me and really for like the ultimate use, what would it look like? And that's how this whole deck came around. Nice. And I know Solomon's on here, and he's the one that really, honestly, if it wasn't for Solomon, his deck wouldn't even be a thing because he approached me with the idea and then got me excited for it, and that's what we started doing it. So
good work, Solomon. Now,
nice job, Solomon.
Here's my question: why 2 decks?
Well,
this is V1 and 2. You only had 1 deck, so why 2 all of a sudden?
Yeah, because it started with the green one, right? Okay. And then I liked it and I loved it, but I made this one on the fly for fun, right? I took a really cool like ocean image and we overlaid it with this, and I just fell in love. And then it was like, how do you choose your favorate child? You can't. You just make them both. So, but then I was
if we're talking children here, let's keep it to 1.
Jeez.
It's a little different.
Yeah. So then and I was like, well, this one just feels more special, more like it feels like I made the box way like it's the special box is the only one that has like full wrap color. The rest are very minimum and stuff like that. Nice. So and it has embossing, it has foiling. So it will be more limited, but I just wanted to have it mainly.
Yeah. So. I love the, I guess you could say aquamarine. Let's say it's the ocean colors. Oh, yeah. The aquamarine is beautiful, but I'm a huge fan of classy and white and very minimal. So this one is definitely
it looks good
as well. I definitely,
and it's nice because it's nice gradient. So every anchor is actually a little bit different. None are the same, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Some have a little gold, a little blue, a little this, and the best part was I went ahead and because I love this one, I went ahead and made I wish I had it on me right now. I went ahead and printed up, I have purple ingredients. I have all these different colors. And I was just like, well, I went a little overboard, but they were awesome. Maybe one day those might be a thing. Who knows? But so.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think there's so much you can do with the design, with the anchors and this design itself, so that's the cool thing about it. Oh
yeah. I have a dream deck I'm making up in my head now. Because I really don't, because I was being more magician focused. I don't customize too much the fronts outside. This is the first deck where I did change the color scheme. Like you go, the court cards, all the colors are more subdued. You know what I mean? Like the reds are deeper red, deeper gold. So they have a classier look.
To focus there. And the nice thing about it's very subtle, but it's very clean in person too.
Yeah.
I really like that kind of more subdued blue look to it.
Yeah, it looks. It's one of those things where you don't really notice as much until you get a bicycle typical and you put it next. And then you're like,
and it's like
Jesus,
bright.
this is like blinding.
Yeah,
it's almost blinding now. I can't even look at a regular deck anymore.
I'm so used to seeing like recolored court cards, like standard recolored courts now, that when I do see bicycle, I'm like, man, that yellow is so bright that like everything, it's so primary. There's such primary colors, and you're like, have they always been like this? Did they change it? Like, what's going on? But yeah, it's these.
You and I both know they didn't change shit.
I know, yeah, no, I know they haven't changed anything in probably 100 years. They can't change their cutting blades, so. But
yeah, it's like you already heard. Yeah, it's like let me think a silly difference here, just for my own. Yeah, here it is. Like, does it show up on camera? Like the yeah, there.
Yeah, I mean, got it. It's like it's literally like the one, like the bicycle standard is like neon almost in comparison.
And, you're also looking at a prototype, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to stand out way more. Somebody wanted to see the back again, so I'm just showing the back.
It is so nice.
Yeah, because that that NPC white is not white. It's like very
all
like,
their colors. I mean, they're digitally printed, so they're going to be a little muted.
So it's going to pop so much more when you actually see it in person. Oh, can't wait,
dude!
Look at that. You see that?
You're gonna have to do like a live unboxing so that people can just see your reaction when you first open like the final ones in person. That's like it's a good way to do it, because then like that you get that visceral reaction, that visceral emotion that people again just connect to with the brand, and it doesn't hurt, you know.
Jonathan just bought V1s off my site, so there you go. He said he was a little bummed that he didn't get them, and I had 2 on my site. He just bought them both.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah, because I sold out of them, and then Murphy's is out now because they were asking me for them. So I mean, there might be in the shops like across. I mean, obviously people have inventory, but that's really it. Right. I am making like if you do want them, they will be. Although I'm putting as part as the half brick. I'm doing like a V1, V2, V3 half brick, so that you could technically get it that way, but that's about it. It's the only way you're ever going to get them again. So I'm excited for that.
Oh. I'm actually, I just bought there's 8 left at Murphy's, and I just bought them.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's
it. Bought them all. So
you just cleaned out the stock. That's it.
This is Steve's MO. Like when he sees a deck he likes and he knows it's about to go out soon, he's like, I'm just going to buy them all. There's like 32 left. He's like, I'm going to buy them all. I'm done. Then he waits a little bit, and then people are like, man, I can't find them anywhere. He's like, I got them.
Yep.
Now we got 8 more on the side if you want them. Want to catch up and have all of Ryan's decks, then
thank you, Shiro. We appreciate it, man.
Shiro's a legend.
He is. Steve, you got to hit the right button this time now.
Oh, here we go.
I was almost half hoping that you were on the wrong bank again.
No, that would have been embarrassing.
My mom, see, this is dangerous. She's telling me when my whole family calls me the boy. Now everyone knows this now. So
the boy.
Thanks.
All right.
My sister named me when I was a kid. They called me the boy, and then that was it. That was my name for my entire life. Even my sister's kids, they said they're the cutest thing ever. They call me Uncle Ryan for the longest time to my sister, until they realized she calls me the boy, and they call me and go, Uncle Ryan, can we ask you a question? I go, what's that? They go, can we call you Uncle Boy? And they thought it was the funniest freaking thing ever, and I loved it. I ate it up, and I was like, of course you can call me Uncle Boy. I'll be honored. You know what I mean? So I love those guys,
dude.
That's
that is
funny.
Too funny.
Kids are great, and it's funny because no matter what, we have kind of like this acceptance for them. You know, kids can walk up to you and say, Uncle Ryan, your breath stinks, and you'll be like, ha 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 ha. But if your friend said it, you know, oh dude, your breath stinks, you'll be like, F off, your breath smells. We get so offended when other people say things, but if kids could, you know, say it all day long, we don't even.
Because you realize they just don't have that filter. You're just
yeah, exactly.
It's great though. I mean, if we all live like that, there'd probably be a little bit more hurt feelings, but there'd be a lot more honesty and truth across it, because that filter is learned. It's not, you know, it's not something that we inherit genetically or anything like that. So
it's a well-known fact. If you have bad breath, you also like telling people secrets. It's a well-known fact.
You like talking closer to people.
Yeah,
than you should.
Everyone knows that.
Oh my God, I love it. Absolutely love it.
So no, you're good. Just tell me from a distance. I can hear you.
So you mentioned that for the Magic side of things, you know, you do keep it as a hobby, and you've been releasing things for about 12 years now. But how did you first kind of get into Magic?
Yeah, I mean, I always liked it. It was on when I was watching on TV. They had the world's greatest Magic on TV at the time. I don't know if you guys ever seen the show. So that was like a early 90, I want to say 91, 92, something like that. But then I wanted to do a trick I was like third grade ish. I wanted to do a trick. My mom, she actually taught me my first trick. So
she said that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
We need to thank her.
Factual. She got me. She's the one I'm performing because of her. It was
that's cool.
Where you take like a shoelace and you pull it through your neck, and then that was it. I just went on stage of my like show and tell at third grade and did the trick. And then
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
History.
And then I just stuck with it for a while, and then I think it was high school. I really owe it to my friend at the time, Alice Kirkpatrick. He's like I probably would have been a kid who just did it and probably phased out. But then Alex showed me the hot rod for the first time. I don't know if you guys know the hot rod trick. It's basically like a stick. It has different colored gems on the front. You pick one, and then the magician shakes it, and then all sides become that one color, right?
Nice.
All right, yeah.
Blew my mind.
Don't they have that
Mine
chocolate?
was blown.
Doesn't Hanson have the chocolate pixie stick thing that does that?
Maybe, yeah. It's based off a very common magic move, and there's variations of it and stuff.
Yeah.
But the point is, I mean, I didn't know a lot of magic, and then he showed me that, and I was like, whoa, and pulling my hair out, and I was like, you got to tell me, and he showed me how it works, and then I was just like, was a lost puppy following this guy around. He taught me my card tricks and this and that, and then I was obsessed. And then I was just like kind of bit. That was when the bug really bit me, and then that's when I had to show that's when I learned every card trick in the book, and I just freaking loved it all. So
I love your mom. High school called Magic Boy.
Yep. I upgraded for her, I think. So this Magic Boy. It's
not Mr. Magic Boy. It's just Magic Boy, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, high school, everyone knows you as the magic guy, right? I don't know if every magician is probably the only magician in their school. It's not a very popular thing.
Yeah, right? It's not. Even these days, it's not a popular hobby. Yeah.
I was one of the few people. I was actually a jock, so I was like, I was a captain of my team, so I was a cool jock, but also a super nerd because I liked magic, and I also was in like honors classes. I did well in school. Nice. So I was like this weird hybrid. So I think I was able to do magic, but since I could play sports, no one beat me up. So I was definitely safe.
Nice. That's a plus. Oh my God, that's too funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude. Well, you know what? I think it's interesting though that you've kind of taken it that far as well. And that's one of the things I'm always like interested in, how it does play out in like high school. And a lot of the people we've talked to, they're like, yeah, like I did it because I wanted to make friends or whatever, but it sounds like you just did it because of the fascination aspect of it, you know, which I think is great. Like,
yeah, I think I liked the, I mean, I think every magician just, it's like you feed off the people being fooled, right? That's like a drug to a magician. Someone's like, what? You're like, yeah, give me more. You know what I mean? Like you're, you know, it's like you just feed off of that so much. You're like a junkie for reactions, right?
So true.
So then you just keep learning. You want to keep giving that. And then just like a junkie is like, you can't, that person who sees 5 tricks, you got to keep upping the bar. You got to keep showing more and more amazing magic, and it's never ending. You know, because back then your audience is like, you know, very small. It's the same people. So
yeah.
It's,
which I think is good though.
Or you just have a girlfriend who's just like, I saw that. I know how you did that.
My wife, Liz. Geez, man. The problem with her, I started, you know, I don't use magic to pick up girls even before I was married. Like magic's not a cool thing. Let's be real. They'll be your friend, but they're not good about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know. I'll tell you one funny story. It was just like when I used magic to try to pick up a girl. It was like I was doing a performance. This girl loved it, and I was like, "Oh, sweet!" And she's like, "Hey, can you
show my boyfriend?
You want to walk me back to my sorority house?" And I was like, "Oh, right, back to the sorority." So I walk her back, and then she gets to the front door. I'm like, "All right, what's going to happen?" I'm nervous, and she goes, "All right, good night." She just walked inside, and I realized, crap, I was just a safety buddy. You
were the safe guy because you did a magic trick. Yeah,
I got her home safe. She knew I was safe.
She probably figured that they could tell you were a magician, and if anyone tried to attack you guys, they'd beat you up because you did magic.
Exactly.
No, you know what it's all about? She looked at you. Dude, here's the important thing in that lesson. Okay. You were a safe dude rather than a creepy one. And that's important.
Which is key, yeah.
I mean, yeah, she did trust me to see where she lived. That is underlying. That is important.
So, and you did the gentlemanly thing, and you brought her home.
Exactly. That wasn't on my mind. I'm not gonna lie. But
now you know what you should have done. You should have threw rocks at her window, and when she looked out the window, you should have been like pulled like flowers out of a hat or something. Then she might have allowed you to come in.
Honestly, when I realized what happened, I was too ashamed, and I just went. Yep. All right. Never use magic ever again. That was it.
The walk of shame for not even going in, huh?
Yeah. Okay. My magic. My wife's like, I heard you do magic. I was like, oh no, I don't do magic. And then I'm just like, I had to get her. I had to be dating for at least 4 months before I was like, all right, I'll show you something.
It's safe.
Yeah, you get over that threshold where there's no real turning back. You're like, all right, I got you now. I can do weird shit like magic.
But then it's built up too big. You can't just do a card trick. So I was like, what do I do? I was like, all right. So I did like the most epic, like David Blaine trick. And if you set the bar here, where do you go? I can't go up. And it was impossible. So then
you gotta start. You gotta start like lower. Do a snap change. Do a snap change. I got your nose. Yeah.
She's like, what? My nose.
It's like, okay. Oh, that was a good one.
You really are a sorority girl. No,
right?
No.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned though too that like because you had such a small circle of people who you could do magic for, you did have to always keep upping the bar. I think nowadays too, because we have this large audience and this perpetual audience, people run with the same gimmick over and over. And listen, not that it's a bad thing. People build amazing audiences off of 3 gimmicks literally built for something like TikTok. And ultimately, it blows my mind how many people keep coming back for it and being like, wow, like I've seen this 52 times and it gets me every single time. And I'm like, what? Like, come on now, man. Like,
the TikTok user base, probably more so than
I mean, probably.
Stay the F away from TikTok.
I just don't
for damn sure.
Like the one that gets me all the time and the one that like I don't understand how people like are so blown away by it. And not because it's not like cool, but like the giant straw coming out of the bag. And it's not so much the premise that bothers me about it. It's that the videos are like 92 seconds of someone pulling a damn straw out of a bag because it's so big. I'm just like bored at the end. I'm like, all right, cool. It's still a giant straw.
It's the cringe factor of the surprise. I hate the like, oh. It's like, bro, like you don't have to act that way.
I think, well, I don't know either way on that side. I think that's the psychology side of it with like mirroring, where people will mirror your emotion in order to create that thing. And so like, if you want them to feel surprised, the best way for you to do that is to show surprise. Same as like, if you want people to feel sad, you show sadness. If you want people to smile, you smile. But like, I get what you're saying. It's a very interesting kind of.
I feel like all those screens like that. I feel like that kind of prop. I feel any prop. It's like in the right hands, you go, oh, that's how it should be done, right?
Yeah.
Even that giant straw. I guarantee if I see that guy in Vegas who I've seen do some tricks online, I bet he can come up with a reason that one. Wow. Oh, that's good. That's
good.
You know what I mean?
You gotta have the creativity with it. You can't do the same thing that you're scrolling through TikTok or social media, and it's like you see 19 people pulling straws out of bags, and you're like, all right, I get it.
Pull that shit out of your pocket. Don't pull it out of a bag. Pull it out of your pocket. Like, how funny would that be if you saw a dude like pull that out of his pocket? That'd be hilarious.
I'm just waiting for the person.
Yeah, I mean, I saw someone do a baseball bat, like a magician. I'm like, well, there's other props apparently. A shovel. Why a straw?
I mean,
a shovel.
The bat would be a dope one if you could pull a bat out of your pocket and then like crack a home run. Like, you got to have the whole performance there.
And the bat looks real. I forgot it was on like one of these Magic Stream kind of hangouts, and the guy showed us the prop, and it's like it starts off like maybe this big. It's like and they just like whoop, and it's incredible. It's like it looks so good.
Yeah. There's definitely crazy props out there that deserve kudos, and then there's some that's like,
there's
so hard to manage, and you can see the person having so much difficulty.
I buy props. If I really think something's cool, I will have zero interest in doing it. I just buy it to have it here, just so I can be like, this is cool. Check this out, people. I know I'll never do it for anyone outside my house, but I just like to have it.
Yeah, no,
I bought a peak device. It was like one of those iPhones. It's like one of those two-way screen fake iPhones that you can like see. I don't know. I bought what is a peak device, but I was like, this is cool. Oh, they're gonna do it, but I want it, and I bought it. So,
the funny ones are like the iPhone 3 gimmicks. It's you can't use it.
This is iPhone 6.
It's like this big.
Yeah, you could almost use it. Yeah, I forgot how small iPhone 3Gs were. Like someone actually was using one, and I was like, "Can I just see it for like history's sake?" And I held it in my hand, and the resolution was so bad. I was like, "I don't how do you even read this?"
I literally just got rid of my iPhone 4, not like using it, but I had it in a drawer. and there was like one of those electronic recyclings like last July, and I'm going through my whole house finding electronics, and I find like a wireless modem from like 1997. Yep. I find like my iPhone 4. It's not even the 4S, it's the 4. No. It's still in its case.
He had it last week. That was his phone last week.
No. But I ended up powering it up. I ended up like I had to wipe the thing. I'm like, all right, like go in, wipe it, toss it in the recycling. So
I still have my original iPod Touch, my very first iPod Touch that came out. Nice. I still have it. I just can't get rid of it. It's too much sentimental.
I get rid of that shit. I don't hold on to any of that stuff.
I actually found mine too the other day. I found that in one of the iPod Classics. One of like when 250 gigs was huge, and you're like, oh my God, 250 gig iPod. And now it's like my music in my car is on a thumb drive that's literally this big, and it's bigger than my iPod Classic was size-wise. I'm like, phenomenal.
I think my first MP3 player was like 128 megabytes or something like that. Like not gigs. It held 20 songs. That was it. 20 songs. But I was like, the guys, this is the future, guys. And I was just like, you know how hard it is to pick your favorite 20? I'm going to the gym today. What's my 20 workout songs?
So true. You know?
I'm just going to throw this out here too, dude. Your mom is funny as shit. So I love my daughter-in-law, Liz. She inherited, hey, watch this.
She did. Man, there's a video on Instagram. We doing a trick at New Year's for my wife. And you can just see, I think every woman who watched that video, like who has a magician husband, was like, I feel your pain, Liz. Because the eyes are just like, fine. They're just submitting to it. They know they're not, you won't leave them alone until they watch it, but they're just like, I don't have to like it though.
Yeah. Dude, that's you know what though? That's true love there. That's someone being willing to sit through it and be like, yeah, I'll entertain you for this, but I'm not gonna forget either. So
it makes it honestly my wife makes it better. Liz, magicians can thank her for the quality of my tricks. That I know for a fact. Because there's a couple times where I'm like, I think it's done, and I show her, and she just gives you. So that was crap. That was absolutely crap. And you're like
I saw it.
She was not. Make it better, and then come back and show me again. I'm like, okay.
Damn, that's good. She's got standards, man.
Yeah, no, that's good. Hey, if she doesn't have it, then who will?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm like, oh, I'll just do this. She's like, it'll work. She's like, no, make it perfect. I'm like, fine.
I mean, you already said
it's a selfish thing. She doesn't want you showing her friends your crappy work. She wants to be like, yo, check out his awesome magic, and she wants you to be flawless.
I'm 100%.
I'm already having a conversation. What's that again?
I'm 100% sure that's the conversation going on in her book club. My husband is the best magician ever. You need to check this shit out. Go follow him on Instagram.
I think she is a good hype. I think from what I can tell, she is a hype man, because every time I meet her friends, they do know about the magic, and they're not laughing. So that's a good
though.
thing.
That's good. Yeah, that's actually encouraging, man. That's awesome.
No, that's because women know how to act. See, if that's the funny thing. If you put women in a room, right, and they have whatever their book club, whatever it is, they don't kind of like, what's the word? They don't snitch on each other. Where guys in the same room, they forget. And the guys will be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I thought I told you not to say something. Girls women aren't like that.
Yeah, well, I think she too white. I am married to her, so it's in her best interest not to make me look
totally. So, it makes her look.
I do agree with that
too.
Yeah, ideally she wants her friends to like you as well, because she has to hear about you from them probably. And if it's good things, it makes life easier.
Exactly.
But I always feel bad because my people, I'm sure she's like, what's your husband do? But then I'm sure she has a hard time answering that, because I have so many, the clothing and the magic. I do photography, I do videography, I have my regular job. And then so she's probably like, how do I answer this question? Because I just love a lot of things. I wish I had 3 lifetimes to do them all. You know what I mean? So
funny.
Dude. No, I mean, and I completely get that. And I think the entrepreneurial side of it from your perspective seems really interesting, because you do take the things that you're passionate about and turn them into these little, I don't want to say these side hustles. And it's interesting though, that you also maintain your full-time job though. Cause I mean, I'm assuming you're not as passionate about that as you are maybe magic or fitness, but obviously you enjoy it enough that you're still there, which is good.
Yeah, no, if my boss is watching, I love my job. I love it. I don't know I don't know. No, it's good. Yeah, but it's obviously you can never compare a real job to magic and photography.
Right.
You have because I do a finance, so it's very very analytical thinking, right? And then you have the creative side. They're just completely different people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So People who meet me in my regular job go on, they Google my name, and then they come running up to me in my office. Ryan, I just saw this YouTube video. Like, what? They're just rocked.
Dude, that's the way to
connect the two together. Yeah.
That's the way to do it, man. But yeah, and I think, it's funny because I run into that same issue. Like you were saying, oh yeah, I love my job. Like I always I'm talking to people at work and I'm like, yeah, like this project will be fun. And then I'm sitting there and catch myself and I'm like, as fun as a project at work can be, like, let me, clarify that. It's not gonna be like you're going to play golf this weekend. Like it's still work. Like people enjoy their jobs to the extent that you can actually enjoy a job. And it's good that you,
I'm
do
miserable. Like, yeah, if you hated your job, okay, I don't hate my job. It's not like I can't do it. You're right. It's just, and I'm good at it and this and that, but there's
good days and bad days. Yeah.
Listen, if clothing company finally takes off, I might have to make decisions.
I mean, honestly, any passion takes off. Who knows? False anchors could become a national brand for home decor or something. Right. You never know.
If I can reach Steve Minty's status of decks, I will be happy with that. I'm okay. I look at him as he's my hero.
There's a reason he drops, 1, maybe 2 decks a year because he just crushes it. But I heard there was a little bit of a snafu the other day with his limited release. People were not too thrilled about the fact that he only had 150 limited and he has 2,800 backers. And so
okay. Gotcha.
I think they sold out in something like 37 seconds.
That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to scale. But so swinging back to the false anchors here, because, obviously we're excited about this dropping tomorrow. Why Kickstarter this time around? Just the challenge, or what prompted you, or who encouraged you to go Kickstarter?
I mean, honestly, the second deck was V2's was going to be Kickstarter, and then last minute, I just decided to go my own to self-fund it. And and ultimately, what came down to the third one was I just wanted it to be nicer. I wanted it premium crushed stock. I wanted the embossing. I wanted the foiling. I wanted my other decks. I didn't have those mainly because the cost. I couldn't self-fund the cost, right? So Kickstarter, just like what it's for, crowdsource. I could do 2 decks. There's no way I could do 2 decks on my own. You know what I mean? So it allowed me to start peeking behind the curtain of what I want a deck to be, right? If anything, it just fed the demon, because after this is now tomorrow it launches. My God, you guys have launched Kickstarters. The last 4 or 5 months it's just been nonstop working with Solomon, late nights, getting this deck figured out, making last minute decisions. It's stressful.
Man,
but
you think it's stressful? You think it's stressful now?
Yeah.
Just wait. Just wait till you hit launch. Wait till that launch button goes.
I'm gonna do a live launch video just to have a record of it.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. What up, Jackson?
What up, Jackson? How you doing, man?
Jackson,
it does not get easier once you press the launch button. In fact, I think mentally it's even more draining and stressful. We were talking about this early. Because your inherent instinct, day one, watch the hell out of the dashboard, have fun with it, really run into it. Day 1 through 5, even do it. Beyond that, answer messages, check it twice a day. Otherwise, you're sitting there every time someone adjusts, cancels, adds a pledge, and you're like, but why? It's not fucking worth thinking about it. It will drive you nuts.
And the funny thing is, the cool thing about it is you can see when people cancel their pledge, and you're like, all right, motherfucker. I remember you. But it is what it is. People, especially
that hurts me a little bit. I know.
Times right now, it's it's understandable. People need to budget their money, and you have fuckers like Steve Minty come out with a deck right on the same day yours comes out, and you're like, oh God.
There's nothing you can do about that. We've realized real quick that all year long decks come out except for 3 weeks in December, and that's because everyone's spending money on Christmas and holiday stuff, which means your decks are not funding unless they're Steve Minty, and even then Steve Minty's not dropping them then because he'd make half the money. So
makes sense. No, I mean I'm kind of used to the back end, I don't know, customer service side of thing, only because trust me, even releasing this my matted products, but releasing this app, the app was that was a lot of behind the scenes, because now you're dealing with electronics and people who maybe aren't so good with electronics. And then, every, oh my God, so many emails in the beginning. That was like a full-time job every morning. I wake up 2 hours just answering emails about did you turn the app on first? It doesn't magically appear. You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you, wait till you get, once you launch on Kickstarter, what you'll realize quickly is that 90% of the time, the problems are not in fact the people. It's that Kickstarter is a piece of shit platform that literally they literally do the bare minimum to make themselves a feasible product.
And they only care about making money. They don't care if other people get scammed.
That's what I hear.
They don't care anything about that.
And listen, it's a business. It is what it is. But like, you go to tell someone how to adjust their pledge in the app, you can't. Neither app does it except for one. Like, I have a Samsung Android, that'll do it. But if you have an LG Android, it doesn't work in there. So like, even their app doesn't have all the functionality that you would have on the web browser. And it ends up being where you're just like, yo, go on the web browser, like save us all a headache here. Sometimes people will message and be like, hey, I adjusted my pledge. And now when I go back, my pledge reverted. And I'm like, oh my God. So it's a headache all the way. But it'll be fun. Don't worry. It's an experience.
Yeah,
it's okay. I look forward to it. I mean, I'm happy because like I have a big with my clothing company. We have a big product launching Sunday as well. So I have double stress because I do all the back end. Is that?
It sounds like me. I had a big project launching the day after I launched my Kickstarter, and I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, they had to do both because I have to get the website, all the photo. I had to take the photos like Tuesday morning, and I had to edit them. I have a video I'm editing, all that stuff to launch on Sunday, plus the thing on Friday. Nice. So for me, even just be done with the clothing and have a break from that a little bit, and then focus on this. And I'm hoping it won't be too bad. We'll see.
So tell us a little bit about the drop that's on Sunday or the next day. Is it Sunday? Sunday. So no, yeah. So we were actually releasing women's running shorts. So they're like a little bit of a looser fit, like, and they were mostly like they're even good for like beach shorts and all that kind of stuff. So they're for the ladies. I'm actually wearing the men's shorts right now, actually. So I wear them all the time.
I'm actually wearing them right now.
Yeah. So
if you were wearing the ladies ones, I was gonna be pretty impressed.
I mean, I probably could put them on. They're stretchy, so they probably would fit. Now, it may not look as good because I have pretty white thighs, but it is what it is. But yeah, so that's it. So we're launching that, and then next month we actually teamed up with Bridget Sloan. She's actually She was on the U.S. Olympics team. I mean, she's I think several medalist, and then so we're actually teaming up with her, and then that's going to be a branded launch with her name, like her name's etched on the clothes, and so that's a big deal for us because she's huge, like in the gymnastics world, she's a big name, and then
nice.
A lot of people know her. So, but it's good for us, a small company teaming up with with the juggernaut. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, and then I got this tomorrow, so I'm very excited about this. I don't work tomorrow either.
What time does this launch?
So this is noon Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, I'm actually excited because I know a few people I've worked with are like releasing like their videos on the same tomorrow. So I have a lot of promo coming out, which I'm really excited about.
Nice.
And yeah, so I'm really pumped. And then so this is noon, and then I guess I one thing we haven't announced yet, because obviously I told everyone about the half brick box, which is so nice. This thing is so good, man. This thing is just like this magnetic box. It feels
so cool, nice
and sturdy. I printed one of these at first, like typical like paper boxes, right, just to see how it felt. But I'm telling you, it's just like, I wanted to be nicer. I'm all about quality with my stuff. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm very, very pumped with this guy. But then I don't know if you can share that picture I sent you guys. I don't know if you can bring it up. Are you able to share the pictures?
Let me see
here. Because I'm really excited about the collector's box, which I haven't told anyone yet. You guys, I only told you guys really, and then of course Solomon knows about it.
Let's see if I have the image readily accessible, because I can pull it up here if we have it. So let me just give me 2 seconds. Let's see.
I could show it on my phone, but it might not be as pretty on the phone. So, but I can't wait to show you. Yeah, this one I'm really excited about.
This is dope.
Yeah, so he's bringing us. So it's actually a handmade wooden box. You able to get it, or should I show on the phone? I don't know which one's.
Yeah, try pulling up on the phone because I'm having a tough time finding it.
Did this come through on the feed?
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, looks good. Dude, looks so good.
Yeah.
So this is going to be. So it's actually I guess it's part of it's out of Canada. My buddy Ryan Edwards, he actually handmade these things.
Nice.
So the wood is actually it's over a century years old. The wood was actually part of his ships. It was actually like they found it like deep into the waters. They pulled it out. There was only so much they could actually salvage, and basically all that went into making these boxes. So it's only 25. That's all we can make.
That's cool.
So I'm like super pumped. So the outside, he left the outside just the original kind of roughed up look. And the inside, he went ahead and like when he carved it out, so you get the nice, clean, smooth wood, and he put a piece of leather inside. So the decks kind of lay on top of it. It holds.
Ryan does great work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his work is so good. It'll actually hold it holds 4 decks. We're putting like the V3, the V3S, and then we're actually putting the gilded of each one in there as well. So you'll get 2 of each deck, and then the gilded version of the deck as well.
Oh, you're gonna have gilded editions.
I will have gilded edition.
Nice.
So yeah. So for like this, the green one will have this nice like aqua blue, aquamarine kind of gilding on the side, so a solid color, and then the special edition is all up holographic, man. I'll go holographic on that one. It just looks too good not to see it.
Yeah, with the clean cut like white background, that's gonna look really good.
Yeah, I doctored up a picture yesterday, so this is how it kind of looked. Obviously, this is just a render, but still, you can kind of get a vibe. What backwards?
Nice. That looks
get
really
a little
nice,
vibe
man.
for how it looks. Yeah.
Dude.
I'm so excited for that.
Steve and I figured out a good way to get quick and easy shots of hollow or gilded decks. You just find another deck you have with the same gilding, and you put your card on top. Works perfect. So
yeah, I only had the one unicorn gilded deck, which was just a rainbow. So I was trying to play with the angles and make it all one color. So I did that for one of them and got it like mostly green, and then I just went into Photoshop and kind of took the green and altered it.
How about that one?
Oh, that looks so good. Let me see it. Focus.
Oh, look at.
Oh wow!
You didn't know I had that, did you?
Oh wow, that's a nice addition right there.
Gilded V3 false anchors.
That looks pimp.
Yeah.
Oh god, dude. No, that is gonna look really good. Gilded decks, I mean, they're so hot these days, and I think the nice thing about it too is if you get like a good gilding job, they're still fully usable, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nick, the greenbacks aren't gradient. Talking about these backs, these aren't gradient. It's just the special edition is. But then the cool thing is they are, for magicians out there, they are fully marked in multiple ways. So you have value suit, which is awesome, but you actually see it from you can see it from several feet away because the anchors are big. So only you, and then you can see it. I can just have someone from a distance up jog a card, and in the process of taking it out, you know what the card is, which is great from a good distance. So that makes it awesome. And then for me, I also just because why not? I went ahead and put in a red black indicator, so you can at a glance tell if it's red or black. I put in a round or flat indicator, which is lesser known principle of magic, but I use it all the time to fool magicians. So that's built into the deck as well. And then, of course, a one-way design is built into the anchors as well. The nice part about this one-way design versus other ones I've seen is on this one, when you spread the deck on the table, you can just, with a quick glance, tell which card is odd immediately, which is just because of how it's designed. So it's really easy on the eye. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. So magicians, this is definitely a dream deck for the tools it comes with. Makes life really easy.
Dude, I love how clean looking the marking system is on it too, because it just, first off, when you riffle it, it looks awesome. Like the visual of it's really cool. But looking at 2 cards next to each other, I really have to think on it and know that I'm looking to find it. Even though it's very easy to see once you know it's there, because it is bigger. You wouldn't even think about it because there's so much activity on the back of the card. There's so many anchors that it really just blends in perfectly. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's not passing any riffle test, but honestly, that's only for magicians. It's for for laymen.
No layman's gonna ask you to riffle the deck, and even if they did, they don't know what the hell they're talking about probably. So you're fine.
They're not. Yeah. No one's gonna see it. It's one of those things where it's just invisible. And you're right. It's because of we purposely did. I mean, when Solomon was making this design, you think about it, the anchors are random, but also strategic because it's all about making it so everything just feels kind of a random. So your eye can't really focus on one thing. Right. Because we have the system in different places, but we finally found a place that just your eye just doesn't really track.
Yeah. So you can't even tell.
Yeah.
What I really love too, and I'll throw this out here just because the gaff card, one of the gaff cards being the split card there, the marking system. The marking system is actually adjusted for both values on the card, which is a nice little touch. And I love the fact that detail is there because I think a lot of people would overlook that and be like, oh, it's a gaff card. I'm just going to throw one of the 2 on there. The fact that that's on there to me just shows how much attention to detail really went into this.
Yeah. Yep. That was definitely a thing we had to have because you're right. You just want to hold that gaff. You're like, well, which way is it facing?
Exactly.
And that split card, it's a very common gaff. But the thing is, I'm including a routine for people who buy the deck. It's one of my favorite routines. I came up during this pandemic. I came with it at home. It is my favorite thing. I can't wait to get back out there because this trick is so freaking strong. I showed my wife's mom, and she's seen a lot of tricks too. And she literally was like, her mind exploded. This trick is so awesome. Freaking good. It's so good. I can't wait to show people.
The excitement is palpable. So I'm excited to see it as well. I mean, I think that's one of the things I really love to see with a lot of these Kickstarters too, with magicians coming out behind it, like the offering of magic as an inclusion in the campaign as well, because it makes it just that much little added value to it. You know, you buy a deck of cards and you get a little bit of something extra, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's for magicians to do that. It adds so much, you know. I mean, a gimmick usually costs, not even a gimmick, but like a download is at least $14.95 usually.
Yeah, you know? Best case you get one on sale for like $9.95, but those are like the 3-year-old ones.
Yeah, and then honestly, I think your decks, because you only have like 5 cards with NPC, so the one gap that didn't come with it was, of course, the devil facer. I don't think your guys came with this. You know. But the final deck will come with the devil facer, which I have a bunch of routines I use this with. One of my favorite tricks I teach is using this gaff. And of course, you guys saw this one already, which this is cool. I do like a printing trick with this. So I'll just show you real quick, just because.
Is this the one you said?
That's this. Oh, maybe I can't remember. One time I did include it, one time I didn't include it, so I don't know which one you. I guess you got it then.
No, I don't.
You got it then.
I just put them back to back.
Oh, okay.
Steve's not a magician; he's just a dick.
The problem is I printed some with it, That's why I believed you, because I was like, I didn't have some habit. So I believed you. I was like, maybe I did include it in yours, you know, but
maybe you did give me the cool one.
Yeah, maybe I could have.
I ended up putting down the deck to look through the other one because I have them both out here, and I'm like, wait, do I have it too? So you got me as well.
We all fall for it. Because I use this guy for this thing all the time. So like basically, I'll have someone like think of a card. You say, oh, what was it? They name it. You say 8 of clubs. You go, oh, that's the 8 of clubs. Was that your card? They go, that's a joker. Oh no, jokers are wild. You heard jokers are wild, right? You heard this before. But it's not in the way you might have. You're thinking about it. For instance, watch. There's the joker. Watch, if you actually push right there, it actually goes through the deck, out the other side, and then, of course it prints like that, right? But here, you know what? I'll have you take it out for me. And then they pull, and then they pull, and then they sorry, the ink wasn't dry yet. And now you get that nice.
Dude, I love that. That's so good.
That's sweet.
That's really cool. Dude, that's the way to do it though. And I love that creativity because, you know, I feel like a lot of times most decks these days come with 2 standard gaffs. They usually come with a double backer and a blank face, which cool. There's things you can do with that, but I love seeing the creative gaffs from magicians. And I feel like a lot of personalized magician decks say a lot about the magician themselves because you probably, again, you printed that knowing that it's something you would want to use, but also with the idea that you could share it with other people. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Jackson says he likes you.
I like this guy.
I like it too, Jackson.
Oh my God. Jackson is I want to say Jackson, it's good that Jackson likes you, but Jackson supposedly likes us too, and he's been calling us pansies this entire show. So
I mean, someone likes me, they make
he likes us.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing.
I don't take it personally.
Here's the thing. If Jackson didn't like us, he wouldn't be at every single show. He's literally one of our favorite people. He's one of our biggest fans, other than our moms, of course.
Yeah.
Or he just hates
my
you
mom
that
doesn't
much,
watch this
Yeah,
shit.
my mom. Or he hates us and he likes just coming on here because
he
wants to rag on us.
He's probably the downvote or the dislike we get every time.
I always wonder about that. Some videos are so like non-controversial and they still get downvotes. I'm like, I don't understand that.
I had like this is also where, again, so I also work in finance. I'm a data analyst for a large financial firm. And this is where the numbers mess with me as well. Cause now that I've shaved the beard, every video we get gets one downvote. And I'm like, shit, is someone downvoting all of our videos because I shaved my beard? And then I'm like, man, that's like, wait, I mean, it could be. And I'm like, but what am I going to do about that? I don't need to worry about that analytic. Like, who cares? I'm like, that's a crazy metric. There's nothing I can do about it at this point. So
just
hilarious.
Cause and effect right there. That's it.
Karen, thank you for stopping in. We appreciate you and your amazing son. But
love you, Mama.
I don't want to see behind the curtain.
Love you, Ryan's mom.
Enjoy your evening. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Oh my God, Jackson, you're a legend. Jackson just backed Warrior Woman in Vision.
Thank you, man. We appreciate the support, Jackson.
Jackson,
I expect you to support tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time the False Anchors deck. Oh,
there's
golly,
actually 2 of them.
Yeah.
Both decks and gilded. Get the limited edition collector's box. That's what you really want, the wood one. So
what
Jackson
up, Gali?
is like the king of gilded and collector's boxes.
You can tell like it's like early, and it's also ironic. All of our Australians just popped on. Josh Norbito just popped on. Gali just popped on. Like it's probably
like
that time.
There.
Post breakfast time, you know? Yeah, I mean,
yeah. For her, she probably just yeah.
I love it.
No, Golly, yeah, she helped. Yeah, she's awesome. She definitely. We talk randomly here and there, so like she definitely helped me. She's a cool girl.
She plugged you on our show.
She did.
Couple times.
Like the V2s.
Yes.
No, she's awesome. She's one of the good ones. She's definitely one of the good ones.
She is. So. We love Golly. She's great.
And she's awesome. We had such a great time with her too. So, dude, that's one of the fun parts about the show and about this community in general is there's so many people who know each other, and we have so many people come on, and while they have an opportunity to hype themselves up, 9 times out of 10, they end up hyping up people they just know within the community. And some of them we've had on as guests, some of them we look forward to having on in the future. And we knew we were going to have you on when she was on. And it was like, damn, we're even more excited about this now. But so one of the big questions I actually had that came through on some of our like Instagram questions as well was, give a little context to it. With the V2, there was a puzzle incorporated in it. Is that something people should expect potentially for the V3 as well?
Probably.
I feel like it's always like a trick question because you don't want to be like yes, and then everyone's looking for it. You want people to like find it organically. But
yeah,
it wasn't organic, Tyler. If you say something,
well,
yeah, there is definitely a hunt, and I will tease that it's going to make the other one seem like child's play because it's because now I did the first one, it was just me doing it, and on this one I actually working with Solomon, we're actually brainstorming it, and we came up with like 2 people working together is always better than one a lot of times, so yeah, it's going to be so much better, and I'm really excited for the new hunt. I always call it the hunt. Dude. So.
I will say right there too. You said, 2 heads are better than one, except when Steve and I try and come up with a puzzle, and then it's like an hour of like, God damn it, like trying to like run through.
We're not puzzle makers. Give us. Come on.
I have a newfound respect for that, dude. Puzzles are insanely hard to make.
Yeah,
like, the whole process and like the whole idea of like the treasure hunt and like because again, you want it to be difficult, but like you don't know how difficult it's going to be. And we talked a little bit about this pre-show as well. It's like. You spend all this time on it, and one of your biggest fears is either A, no one's ever going to get it, or B, you spent 10 hours on it and someone solves it in 13 minutes, and you're like, damn. Like
it impressed me. Like I saw Zach just set aside it. He's been reaching out to me on Instagram, and he just did my V2, which is cool because a lot of people did it in the beginning, and then it kind of went away, and then a few people started doing it again. But I feel bad for Zach because he started somehow figured out the middle and somehow went to the end. And then he's like, I'm done. I'm like, wait, how did you get there without going through all these other steps? So I had to actually fix my puzzle just because of him. So I appreciate him pointing out my flaws.
Well, and that was something Steve and I were talking about too when we planned a puzzle. It's like the problem is you have to make sure you put things in a place that if someone happens to come across another thing, and this is where like the methodology that like we kind of came up with a little bit for our usage, we didn't invent this, but like the idea that like you have a clue, but it also subtly refers back to a previous clue. And like you have like maybe a cipher that the key is one of the previous clues. And so the previous clue is actually 2 clues and you tie it all together. And like, but yeah. And even then, like some people are just really damn good at puzzles. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Because even in my last puzzle, I was like, I did like phase 1, and then I had a break, and then I did phase 2. So, and then phase 2 came out. I was going to do a phase 3, but then overcome by events. But I teased phase 3, and I put it when I thought they weren't going to find it, and then like I put it out there, and then everyone was like, I can't wait for the next one, Ryan. I was like, dang, you found it. I was like, how did you find it?
Well, there's the thing. Once you put one in one, you have to put it in the next one. Because people look forward to that.
Maybe that's part of it, though. Maybe they just think it's so hard that it's nothing there. They don't even know. Like, no matter what, someone's going to look. But
honestly, I always wanted to do a treasure hunt because, like, even when I met my wife, I actually to become like we went steady. I actually sent her on a scavenger hunt. That's how I asked her out.
You're so old, Ryan.
I dropped a CD.
The fact that he just said.
So I'm curious now too, like how long have, and if you don't want to answer this, it's fine, but how long have you two been together? Because part of me also wants to be like, was this like 3 years ago? And like,
dude, he said we went steady. That means around 92.
That's what I'm curious about. Like
92, 93, right?
No, it was today marked 18 years. So
shit. Okay, so it's legit then. It wasn't just like you're like a 30-something-year-old guy sending your wife on a scavenger hunt for like grocery list.
I was like 19. She was like 20. She's rocking the cradle. Well, she likes the young ones. So, and I dropped a CD off her. I had to burn a CD because MP3s weren't a thing yet. And I dropped a CD off, and I have like the Mission Impossible music playing, like that, and I have my voice come on, which I surprised I even knew how to do this back then with the technology. But I was like, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to. And I had like the mission tape. And then she didn't see me. I just dropped her off her door, and then she went off on this scavenger hunt. She went to like an ice cream parlor, a bunch of different places. And then she ended up somewhere where I was waiting with a rose and all this good stuff.
Nice.
So
get out of here, stalker.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's so funny you say that because I told this story to different women, and some are like, "Oh, that's my," and some are like, "Wow, I would have dumped you immediately, creeper." So it's like, but then I was like, well. Funny. It was kind of like weeding her out because, like, well, that's who I am. So if you didn't like it, then it wouldn't have worked out. But obviously, she likes the creeper guys, so it's all good.
I mean, it was also a twofold test too, because if she didn't solve it, then you just knew it wasn't meant to happen because she never would have showed up.
No, it was kind of ballsy because back then you don't really have cell phones really, so it was kind of ballsy. I just kind of sat there like, I hope she shows up. It's one of those things. Yeah, it was crazy, but it worked out. It all worked out.
2003, you were still dealing with like the Nokia bricks and like the StarTech was just getting phased out from Motorola.
I had the StarTech.
That was my first phone. StarTech was my very first phone.
The StarTech flip phone, man. That was
my mom was like a hand-me-down from my mom. Actually, she was just like, "You're going to college, son. Here's your phone." I was like, "All right."
Well, that was the other thing back in those days. Like, you got a phone because you could you had to be out and about. You weren't like 8 years old, and it's like, here you go. It was like
you weren't taking pictures with it.
Yeah, I got my first phone because I got my license like 3 days later, and my parents wanted to be able to call me no matter where I was. It's I
remember my first time I went on my phone to download a ringtone. I had to use the internet plan to go on there. I downloaded one ringtone. The ringtone was like $3, but the internet charge was like 20.
Dude, it was crazy back then. I was thinking about this the other day too, because I was having a conversation with someone about that, and I was like, you remember when like you only got a certain amount of text messages a month? Like you could only text 150 people, and they could only be in network. And if you went over that, it was like 50 cents a message. Like, I remember one time,
night and time. I remember it was like after 9 p.m. and that's when you called everyone. Hey guys, I'm 9 p.m.
Free nights and weekends.
Nights and weekends.
Yep. I remember one time, like, it must have been like, this was like probably like 20 years, not 20 years ago now, almost 20 years ago now. I was talking to a girl who only texts. She didn't want to talk on the phone. And my phone bill that month was like $250 because she texted me like 1,000 times. And I was like, wow, I'm like, this shit ain't gonna work. I'm not spending $250 a month. Like, not a chance. Now it's like, it's not even a thing. Yeah. Now it's like, 50 gigs of unlimited data, $50 a month. And you're like, shit, like cell phones have come a long way.
Honestly, I think iPhones and because when iMessage came out and you weren't really using real texts, it was blue. Basically, if you had green, I just didn't text you. I was like, hey, we're not blue. I'm not texting you guys. That cost me money. I laughed because I would have like rollover minutes, but eventually we don't call anyone anymore. I had like 8,000 rollover minutes. I was like, guys, I'm rich in minutes.
You must have had AT&T because Verizon never did rollover minutes.
Oh, I had AT&T, and it was like never expired.
That's the thing. AT&T had to do something to keep their customers because their service sucked.
Yeah, well, they give me unlimited, which once they give me unlimited, I was in there, and they kept raising the price on it. It's $5 every year, and I was like, I don't care. It'd be $1 million. I'm not getting rid of this unlimited plan. I was like stubborn as a mule.
Yeah, they went crazy. I mean, they really went crazy with a lot of that stuff, and it's funny because you mentioned too, like the iPhone. Like even when you do make a call on an iPhone now, if you're on your Wi-Fi, it goes through your Wi-Fi. Doesn't even go over their networks.
You don't use it anymore.
So like all of the service you're paying for is really for like the times you're in your car or not in your home and not at a Starbucks connected to the Wi-Fi. Like at some point, like when Wi-Fi is everywhere, and we're starting to see that now. There's I just saw there's like a cryptocurrency that the miner, the whole premise behind it is you mine and it allows you to share network around you to create a mesh Wi-Fi network in areas that's free to use, and you get like basically paid via mining for that free mesh Wi-Fi. Dude, if that takes off and you basically have Wi-Fi everywhere, like cell phone towers are a thing of the past, and then your services, you're just going to see the phone price double because they still need to justify the cost on it. So
I got you. Yeah, I miss the old days of like subsidized phone costs, because now that now you got to pay the whole price for an iPhone. You're like, oh, it hurts a little bit. So,
well, and like
iPhones now are $1,200. They used to be like
oh my god, dude, that's the entry fee though too. Like the high end ones are like $2,200. I just looked at like the new Samsung.
I didn't pay for a phone for like a good 6 years there or something. I didn't pay for one phone because I would, once you sign up for 2 years, they lock you in.
Yeah.
But then like you get like but then you get the phone for like free essentially, right?
Yeah.
So but the problem is, a year or 2 years later, that phone can retail on like, on like Craigslist for like $600, $800.
Yeah.
So then you make that money and you use that for the next phone. And I kept doing that for every phone. I never paid for a phone after the first one.
Yeah.
But then they stopped all that nonsense.
Oh yeah, no, they learned real quick. Like now here's the thing about it too that always gets me, and like people are like, oh yeah, I just paid for the whole phone up front. And I'm like, why? Like they give you 0% like finance.
Mark,
thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Also, please fart. All right. Again, we're not making it to the end because the wet one at the end just bothers me.
Hey,
I'm a fan of banana bread.
Mark
I love
wants
banana
the fart
bread.
song. Mark gets the fart song. Here we go.
Oh god, I love it.
That's definitely a clip we gotta put on as a highlight.
That's my new.
Like that one's just brutal. That end is just brutal. But yeah, it's really crazy to see how much cell phones have realized like how much money they were losing on that resale market by offering that 2 year and it's free. Now it's basically the same thing to some extent, but in 2 years, cell phones have phased out so much they're not worth $50, and they get you with that like 0% financing, and it's like, all right, like 2 years, 50 or 0% financing, you get like $50 a month on a $2,000 phone. I actually just had mine roll off a couple months ago, and my phone bill like was cut in half, and I was like, all right, I'm just not getting a new phone for a while because why would I? Like save myself a lot of money real quick.
Here's the thing, though, you can actually still sell your phone.
Yeah.
I literally, I mean, you could still get good money for it. I sold my last phone before I got the new one. So you can still scoop them up.
So I have a very important question to come in here. I saw John. He brought up a very valid question about banana bread. I got to ask a question to John and to you two guys. Do you put walnuts in your banana bread? Or do you
I do. Walnuts? No, I do. I put walnuts in.
I like.
Tyler is incorrect. John, break the tie. What do you do, John? Type it in there.
Dude, here's the thing. I will eat it either way, but like, I don't.
Walnuts and banana bread is nasty.
John, you don't need about my deck anymore. You don't know. I don't want it. I don't want your money. No, just joking. So I'll eat it either way.
Dude, my mom makes the bomb banana bread, and
chocolate chips? Yes,
she does make both. But
is that Mateo?
I will never eat.
Mateo is
12.
The
of course he likes
chocolate chips.
Yeah. Of course he likes chocolate.
I don't mind chocolate chips in my banana bread.
I love chocolate chips and banana bread too, but there's a fine line though. Once you have chocolate chips in your banana bread, you can't lie to yourself and be like, this is a healthy snack. Like it's not a healthy snack either way, but like once the chocolate chips are in, you can't.
Yeah. No, I do both. Honestly, I just had some gingerbread it had walnuts in it. It was good. It's one of those things where I don't like peanut M&Ms. I like M&Ms.
I don't like peanut M&Ms.
I don't like nuts in my chocolate. I don't know why. I don't like the mixture. I love nuts by themselves. That's about
See, I don't like
like
peanuts.
A candy nut, like a candy walnut. I'm all about that, Okay. So I don't know.
Golly.
Did I miss the sex?
I got you, Golly.
Here you go. Xavier Spade coming in.
No
Did I miss the sex? Honestly, like, here's my thing. If someone gives me banana bread and there's walnuts in it or there's not, I don't care. I just got free banana bread. That's what I'm saying.
I'll pick out the walnuts.
See, for me, I don't give a shit. Like, I'll eat it either way. But like at the same time, if I were to make banana bread, it really depends on whether or not I have walnuts in the house. So
I think Spade puts Doritos in his banana bread.
He probably does. Probably pineapple or something like that.
Pineapple and banana bread.
Yeah, I think he does it.
That might be like a secret banger. I don't know. Pineapple banana bread. I probably not.
You're one of those guys that eat pineapple on their pizza, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Wait, who?
I'm not against it.
You're lucky I'm in New Jersey. I should punch you in the face for insinuating that. I'll tell you right now, motherfucker.
Listen, guys. Listen, guys.
You are
pineapple on pizza. That's disgusting shit.
Listen, guys. You take a good like roasted chicken, like a blackened chicken. You put bacon on it with banana peppers and pineapple. That combination on a pizza is magical, guys.
Pineapple is never okay on pizza.
Fruit on pizza.
I don't know why. I think the bacon, the pineapple was what makes it magical.
I'll tell you what it is. I don't particularly like fruit when it's been cooked.
I know that, Xavier.
So like I'm not a fan of like cooked fruit. So like a lot of times you'll go out to a restaurant and they have like a pork dish with like apple or cherries or fruit like that. Don't even like that. Like I'm not a fan of
fruit. Is
I like pork with like an apple because they usually have like an apple chutney or something like that with a little bit of pork.
That's different. That's different. Apple chutney is different.
See, for me though, that doesn't do it either. Like I don't like fruit. Like when I get lamb, like on the rare occasion I have lamb, like everyone's like, oh, lamb and mint jelly. I'm like, nah, I don't want that either. Like I like meat for meat. Fruit is the wrong flavor for it. And I also like savory dishes more so than like sweet dishes as an entree. So that's probably why. But yeah, dude, no pineapple on pizza. Ultimately, Spade
says he'll be in Florida
starting Saturday.
So if you want to make out or something, hit him up.
So I'll leave Saturday is what you're telling me. Got it.
Spade keeps tots in his pocket.
It's Mateo. Spade keeps. Yeah, that makes my day right there.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Mateo, we're gonna have Mateo on the show.
If I could figure out how to keep tots in my pocket and keep them warm all the time, I would hands down do that. Because oh my god, yeah,
that sounds amazing.
Steve and I regularly probably talk about tater tots because he eats them more than like most adults I know, and I'm jealous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking jealous.
It's possible. You probably could invent like a cargo pant worthy container that somehow heated the tots. I'm sure it could.
You guys, I hate the tots. I love tots, and I eat them probably twice a year. When I eat them twice a year, though, it's usually in the same month, and then I won't eat them. Then I won't eat them for the rest of the year. But why would you have tots in your pocket?
Because I want tots all the time, on the road, on the go.
Man,
this is the same reason that a couple of years ago, one of like the best-selling Christmas gifts was a plastic necklace that fit a piece of pizza.
Dude, that's because people are morons. Dude, like people, I'm saying it live on the air. People are stupid. They bought a piece of shit from whatchamacallit? From was it Supreme? Who was it?
Oh, Cards Against Humanity. Cards Against Humanity, yeah.
Yeah, they sold 300,000 pieces of poop or something like that.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, people are stupid. Let's be honest.
30,000 pieces of poop, not 300,000, but still way more.
That would have been a lot of poop. That would have been a lot of poop.
But
I mean, it's
hell yeah, I watched Napoleon Dynamite. Who hasn't?
Yeah. Gosh.
Heck yeah, I watched Napoleon Dynamite.
Heck yeah. That's a liger. I haven't seen that movie in so long though. It's been a while. Dude,
people like snacks on the go. That's just how it is, man. Pizza necklace, tot pocket. Oh my god. Dude, that's the name cool right there. Hot Pockets. I get sued by Hot Pockets.
Dude, the next playing card is two tater tots on the back. Who's doing it?
Okay. Tot?
Dude, that's a top deck. Get it? That's a top deck.
Ooh, top deck.
And then you could use like take a page from Bao's book and do like condiment ad cards where you have
Jackson,
one's ketchup, one's mustard.
Hey Jackson, the next time you talk to Kenneth Wayne, you should tell him to do a tot deck.
I like this. 2 tots, just like 2 instead of cherries, the tot deck. Hey, I mean, you're on something here.
It'll work, man. Or you could put tots on there with like ketchup trails.
Oh, yeah, that would be the court cards probably. The guy's like dipping his tot. He's like, oh, a little ketchup.
You could use it as like fanning elements. Yeah, dude. There's a lot you can do with that.
Dude, a tot fan? That's
the problem with all of this conversation is now I'm really craving tater tots, and
I know, me too.
Grocery stores closed. It's such bullshit.
Actually, right before the show, I scarfed down some like fried yuca, and it was pretty damn good. So I like some good yuca.
Nice.
My wife is Dominican, by the way, so I'm used to the Spanish flares.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Dude, they make broccoli tots and cauliflower tots. And the broccoli tots are so good. They're amazing. You don't even know they're broccoli tots. You kind of do.
I mean, I love broccoli. But
you can't even tell it's broccoli. It's so good.
I definitely I've made like broccoli and cheese tots before, which of course I go to the unhealthy direction of it, but broccoli cheese tots are banging too. Dude, anything in top form is probably pretty good.
That was a good one.
I mean, it's one of those things where I don't really do the fry stuff, but I went to Canada, of course I had to get the poutine, right? The poutine fries with you don't do that? Oh, it's so good.
Steve doesn't like gravy.
I don't like soggy shit. I want crisp fries.
You can give them crispy though. See, you do them right. The places I've been to, it's crispy as hell fried. They top it in front of you. So
I'm good. I'm good, man. I'll keep that nasty sludge off my fries.
I'm okay with it.
Ruining my fries, man. You're ruining my fries.
Broccoli and
my
cheese
pizza.
on burritos.
Dude, you're ruining my fries. You're ruining my pizza, and you're ruining my damn banana bread.
Listen, I love all flavors of food. I really don't have I don't have an issue.
Yeah, well.
I don't know. I mean, I've yet to eat poutine, so I'm excited to go to Canada at some point in the next, hopefully, couple months and try some. But
it's definitely not created equal. You definitely want to like. I found the place I like are more gourmet poutine, so you can get like peas and like onion. You get what you need. Basically, it's kind of make your own poutine. You just say, I want that, and they just like plop it on there.
Is it considered poutine if you do all that though?
I mean, you can get traditional cheese curds with gravy. I don't know. It wasn't as magical as like the I would call it the excursion version. Very nice.
Excursion version.
Yeah.
I like cheese curds though. That's delicious.
Okay,
I agree.
And on French fries, it's even better. It really is. So.
I put ketchup and mustard on my French fries. That's about all I put on there, and salt.
You don't put mayonnaise on your French fries? Oh, that's weird.
No, mayonnaise goes on tuna, fish, and turkey. That's about it.
Okay. And pepperoni pizza.
No, I'll try it. I told you I'd try it.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, you take a very thin layer of mayonnaise on top of a slice of pepperoni pizza. It's delicious.
I'm sure it tastes delicious. Mayonnaise is amazing. It tastes good on everything. Let's be real.
Mayonnaise is amazing. See what I did there?
This is why Steve's not
mayo deck.
What? Yeah.
So this is why Steve's not marketing.
Dude, I have a mayo deck. I already have one.
Is that white knockouts?
It's the knockout.
Oh my god, dude! Oh, nice creamy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying to think how we can team up on the next deck. Maybe we could do Warrior Anchors deck. Maybe that'll be like a combination. Maybe I don't know.
So I have to say, one of the things I realized doing with the Warrior Women deck is people love pirates. It's not surprising, but like the appetite for pirate related stuff is phenomenal. And I was going to say this actually when we were talking the other day, and it slipped my mind. Incorporating pirates or some sort of pirate lore or anything pirate history into your deck is a very good idea. So
you might be speaking V4 language or V5. I don't know yet. Well,
actually,
something.
Dude,
have it.
We actually know a designer already.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Not Solomon. Who are you talking about now?
Here's the thing: if it's going to be like a false anchors type deck, then obviously Solomon is your go-to.
Okay, no.
We know who
you say here, or are you saying it off air? Which one you do?
We'll say it off air.
Yeah, we'll tell you. Okay. We'll tell you later. We don't need people stealing our amazing pirate playing cards idea.
Yeah,
we sum it up. I'll tell you guys. I don't want to spoil it, but I'll tell you what it is off air because it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's a cool idea. So, But
let's do the tater tot one.
Okay, I'm down for that too.
That'd be dope.
I only have one rule. There has to be something pirate ocean related in it. I don't know where it's going to be. Maybe instead of a toothpick, it's an anchor stabbing the top. I don't know.
Bro,
you could do like a tartar sauce, something with the tots. Even though no one should dip their tots in tartar sauce, but
dude, hey, some people. If you have fish and tots, kind of
it's like a new age fish and chip. I like that fish and tots.
The American bastardized version of fish and chips.
It sounds like people are actually horrified by that, but I like it. I like the sound of it.
Hey, I'm horrified by anything that's white and creamy that you dip your food in. I'm all set with that.
I'm okay with the tartars. Some mushy peas. They like the mushy peas over there in England and stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm down with mushy peas, but the whole tartar sauce I'm good with.
It's a weird. The thing that throws me off about tartar sauce is like people use it indiscriminately for fish. And I feel like different types of fish have different flavors that one sauce just doesn't fit all of them. But someone's like, oh, you have fish. You want some tartar sauce? It's like, man, this is tuna. Like, no, I don't want tartar sauce. This isn't white fish. Like, come on.
I know. I think people just assume tartar goes with anything fish related pretty much.
It doesn't go with anything. The only thing that goes with all fish is lemon. That's it. Lemon can go with any fish.
I think that kills all the fishiness pretty much. It's like, oh, fishiness gone. Lemon.
Well, so the really interesting thing about lemon and fish is there are actually a lot of recipes where you just use the lemon and the acidity to cook the fish. And that's it. Because the lemon will actually cook the fish because of the acidity, which is really kind of an interesting way to go about it. So you get like a seared fish almost.
I said I always see like fish on a bed of lemon. I didn't know that's what they were really doing. They're doing the slow lemon cook. I got it. Okay. I don't cook fish, so I don't know.
It also adds to the flavor.
Well, my mom lied. She's still here. Liar. She just signed back on. She couldn't be away.
There she is. Lemon, yes. See? Mom knows.
Lies. Full of lies.
I love it, dude. Yeah, she couldn't stay away. How often do you see your parents? Are they close to you still, or are you like farther away these days?
Oh Jesus! Now the conversation is going to get awkward. No, no. They live in Okeechobee, which is not far, but not close to here. I would say a couple, 2.5 hours away or so.
Okay. So there you go. She needed some time with Ryan, and she decided to tune back into YouTube.
Oh yeah, no, I don't mind at all. Yeah, with COVID time, I didn't see him at all. I saw him once during COVID. I drove down there to see them. And they live in Okeechobee, which is like a very country town. COVID was not a thing. Just 100% normal, going about your business down there. No one cared.
Right. Yeah, but dude, that's pretty much Florida, though. Let's be honest.
I mean, where I live is kind of like, I don't know. It was pretty much, but around me, definitely.
I mean, Florida was pretty irresponsible during the whole COVID. Let's be honest.
I mean, okay, no, those are tourists going to the beach. They're not Floridians. They're tourists coming here.
Let's be honest.
Disney shut down for like 18 years, pretty much, as far as their balance sheet goes. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Zach was pretty much going to Disney the whole time during COVID. So
that was the California one. Now he hit. I remember he had a while where he couldn't make it there, and he was like really upset about that.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
But
I've been to Disney a few times. Once I made a mistake of going last summer during all this with a face mask on, and never again. That was awful.
Disney in the summer is brutal, just heat wise in general. Yeah, you throw a mask on, you're lucky you didn't pass out.
I literally walked from the car to the gate, and I was like, "Can we leave now?" Because that was awful. I didn't even make it inside.
That's
my mom wants to correct me. They lived in Atlanta for 30 years. They did live near me, but they did move away in the last few years. So correction. So
that's funny.
Yeah,
that is too funny.
I haven't been to Disney in a while. Like 15, 20 years probably. Actually,
I think
more than 20 years, probably 25 years.
Almost 25 for me at this point. Yeah.
Man, I'm old.
I took a break because I lived in Orlando since '94, and I went all the time. And then I just took like a 9 or 10 year hiatus. I just said, I'm done. So
Universal's better. So
are you still paying? Are you still paying your credit card for the hamburgers you bought back in '93? Or
pretty much, yeah, pretty much. The water. I bought 3 waters. I'm still paying those off. Jesus,
the Disney layaway.
Oh yeah, Disney. Oh my God, yeah. Actually,
now, how old are you?
We actually brought food with us. I don't know why we've never done this before. We brought a backpack filled with food, and we just made food there and ate it. It was awesome. I was like, why are we not doing this more often?
Yeah.
How old are you, Ryan?
37.
Oh, nice. Oh, you're a young buck.
No, 38 this month, actually, turning in end of the month. So
nice.
Happy early birthday, man.
Yeah, happy early birthday, man.
Tyler just turned 36 Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday to you.
Spade turned 38,
39
on Sunday, last Sunday.
Oh,
last
old
Saturday,
man Spade over there. Sunday Daytona. Oh, nice.
I'll bring the chapstick. Jesus. Oh my God. One day
Spade is a good kisser. I'm not gonna lie. He's good. He's a good kisser.
I'm just waiting for the Who Spade Has Kissed coffee table book to come out.
Let's do it.
All these snapshots.
We'll produce it.
Amazing.
We'll produce
I'm in there a lot, man. I mean, every convention, pretty much. That guy, you can't stay away from those lips. Spade's the man.
He is a seductive motherfucker. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he is. Just keep him away from the moms. We don't want any brothers and sisters running around, do we, Ryan?
No. I'm just kidding. I need to do if me and Spade have a baby, I would be sorry for it.
Oh my God.
Oh God, I think I just vomited in my mouth a little bit.
Oh yeah.
There you go, Spade.
I think you just killed us out. Oh man, how do we recover from this?
You know how we recover?
Just playing cards.
So we're gonna pivot here because the one thing we haven't done yet, we're about an hour and a half in, is the deck sniff. So we told you a little bit earlier about our tradition on the show of doing a deck sniff as what we call a sniff for Stu, for our buddy Stu, Courier Stu, who is known for sniffing and eating decks of cards. And we only ask if you want to sniff a card, but if you want to eat one, you're more than welcome to. We're not going to say no to that. But do you have a deck handy?
Okay, I brought 2 unopened V1, V2.
Dang.
You just want to choose for me? Which one am I opening?
I want you to open V2 just because that color is so dope.
It is.
I got the wrong one. Okay. That mirror.
Do you need us to tell you which one's V1 and which one's V2?
No. The mirror camera. I look like a fool. That's joking. All right, the good old V2. Actually, I love opening a good V2. Seeing that green for the first time, like,
oh man, it's
good. So nice. Yeah, this one I was so happy about. Yeah, I have no nails, and then USPC with their tabs are cutting edge,
dude.
Sharp tabs.
I don't know how they haven't figured. I mean, again, they have so many things they haven't figured out how to work yet, but like the tabs kill me all the time.
I get a good one. Like I have like open a brick, they're all perfect. Next brick, you're like, not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much.
I've gotten to the point that I go to like the corners on the top sometimes and just peel from there, and it's such a pain in the ass, but it's easier than futzing with the little thing.
Okay, deck's opened. I give it a smell. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I love doing it. You guys don't. I do this all the time, actually. Oh man, you really
it's a good smell.
I mean, because USPCC, their smell is just, it's like home. Like, it feels like grandma's cooking when you're a kid. You're just like, oh man,
dude. I definitely think that USPCC has a really clean smell. Clean, obviously, compared to others. Yeah. But I'm literally gonna say that Expert has the best smelling cards. They have kind of like a vanilla bean kind of scent to it. If you open up a new Expert, amazing.
You're right. This is familiar. Like I smell like you smell an NPC deck, and you regret the decision very fast.
Yeah, that's factory skunk right there.
Yeah, like I don't like the smell of this guy. It smells like burnt rubber, like smeared across a raccoon's butt or something like that. I don't know what it is, but this is like heaven, man. And you can't beat this. You can't beat the sound of a new deck. You know what I mean? It's just like. It sounds so good. Yeah, I love it. Magicians. Oh yeah, I forgot how good a brand new deck fans. Oh, it just feels. Oh,
it really.
Everything about it.
That's one of the things that I feel like very few companies can touch with USPCC and Cardamundi is just that out of the box ability to fan perfect every time.
Like his Solomon's Oki Afterbirth, he called it.
There you go. And I think a lot of it is just because of the whole sustainable like vegetable ink stuff and all that. Like they really. This is not a USPCC deck. This is the MPC prototype, and you can tell printed in China on chemical-based paper.
Oh, it's full chemical. It's you just lost a year of life easily.
Probably. I mean,
yep. You want to get checked for cancer tomorrow, pretty much. It's like just that immediate. So
it's something, and it's like it sticks with you too. Like it doesn't like. It radiates off. Like I think that's the one good thing about USPCC is you open the deck and you put it down and you don't sniff it. It doesn't waft up to you necessarily, but like the chemical ones, they waft very much.
Dude, the new legends. Literally.
I don't think I touched a Legends deck yet.
Bro, let me tell you, their new Viper finish is amazing. It's thin crushed, ultra thin crushed. Viper finish handles phenomenally. Wow. I've had it for what?
I want it long term because the thing is, I think like even like I don't know, like other decks I feel like they handle the box pretty good, but then like after like a little bit of use, they start clumping pretty quickly.
Dude, I've had this for 2 weeks now, Tyler.
Still not clumping
more,
at least, man. Yeah, at least.
And it's been in this office, which is always fucking muggy. And dude, it handles like a dream still.
Okay,
amazing. Highly recommend. I just picked up a bunch of them, but I highly recommend grabbing one so you can at least see the stock and how it feels. And
because honestly, the only thing about Legend that gets me like tempted is the fact that you can get so many customizations. It's probably more affordable. Like to me, to get a matte finished box like a Monarch it's a stretch goal on my Kickstarter because I really want the matte finished box, but it's a arm and a leg if you want to go through bicycle USPC. If you go through another, obviously you can get it made off-site for cheaper, but I don't know. I just want to keep it in-house, keep it simple. But
yeah,
man, I just so Legends is tempting for that reason.
Dude,
you can get some really cool tuck designs you can get made with it. You know what I mean? So
their new Year of the Ox, was it? New Year of the Ox deck. Their tuck box is gorgeous.
What did I do with it? Do I have it box now? This is just a piece. Yeah, so on the new tuck for this one, I'm like embossing backwards. I'm embossing the anchor, but on the back, I'm actually embossing every little anchor as well. So it's gonna feel like it's gonna feel really good in the hand. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And then of course the special edition will be foil, but special edition. I'm gonna get that regular. But yeah, I'm excited for that,
right?
You got. I mean, this is some little touches, right? Yeah. Yeah, but maybe in the next one I'll have some foiling or some on the cards themselves. But for this one, I think the design, I didn't want to overdo it. The design is good right now. I don't need to put more.
The problem you run into with the foil on the cards is it gets expensive very quickly. And honestly, you're then going to have to shift away from USPCC because their Metalux is trash. It's such a shame. Like, I think they do a great deck of cards. If they could figure out how to foil well, it would be perfect. But Cardamundi foiling is just spectacular.
Yeah, top notch.
Yeah.
Because
everyone's doing what their B line, slim line. That's what everyone's printing on right now, right? A lot of people.
The B9 slim,
But here's the thing. I mean, you can't print on anything else. That's all they have. But the thing is Jackson said it perfect. Is it depends on what your goal is for your deck. There's different companies that print different foil. And obviously Expert prints amazing foil work. And it prints totally different than Cardamundi. Cardamundi is the cold foil. If you want hot foil, go to Lautrec. His hot foil is amazing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Expert's amazing. I mean, there's that Legends prints amazing foil as well. Their stuff looks a little bit more like cold foil. I'm not sure if it is cold foil or not, but there's very few companies that can print a good foil deck.
Yeah. I think my next one I'll look into it because I have like the next two designs in my head are one's like super elegant, like super minimalist design that will be classy, but then the other one's like super over the top designers. So I don't know which one to do first or whatever. Maybe the over the top because all my decks are kind of simple in that sense, but I don't know. It's a lot. It's hard. Yeah, this world is you guys know. You get into this world and you just like I have all these ideas. And you just want to do them all. But
yeah, I mean it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing a collector's deck, you have a little bit more leniency, I guess you could say, of which way you want to go, and obviously how it feels. But I mean there's different avenues. If you want it quicker, definitely don't go with USPCC or Cardamundi because you're not going to get it fast. Yeah. But,
for me, I guess because I grew up being a magician first. I grew up with the feel of bicycle playing cards. Every magician did. Right. So I always loved the feel of like just a regular USPC deck. And now it's like the new V3s. It's like I get that same familiar feel that magicians love. And then but now the box is a little bit nicer. The design is a lot. It's just a little bit cleaner, a little bit. It kind of fits into that half cardist, half magician-y. It's definitely blurring the lines now as far as the design goes and stuff. But at least for the standard, obviously the other one, a lot more ornate, a lot more like. I think this will have a wider appeal. I think to more people.
Right. I think it's a sexy deck all around. It's pretty cool. And like I said, I'm a big fan of that classy white.
Yeah. It's clean. It's just clean.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, you really can't go wrong with like a classic deck like that. And I think, again, being a magician, it makes the most sense. You want something that's nice, comfortable, but also not necessarily high flare, high flash. And it looks good. You can burn through them. You can use them, Mm-hmm. So you start, like I said, you start looking at the Cardamundi foil decks or Lautrec hot foil or even Metalux. It gets crazy expensive to print those decks. I mean, I think Metalux, the starting price on a deck is what, like $16 a deck.
I like Solomon. It's like I wanted the Metalux, but my plans were foiled. Nice one, Solomon.
Dude, I really wish USPCC would do better with their Metalux. And not to say that the foil itself is problematic, but the attention to detail in it and the way they like mold or press or however they do it, just never comes out clean looking. Even on like the whatever the last Gator backs that came out were. They were just like all the edges were very rough, and
they're not clean lines. It's like smudged on or something.
Yeah, and it's a shame. But
Babe says how much for a haircut at Ryan's barber? It looks like Tyler went to the same hair. It went to the same barber. They literally have the same haircut.
Man. Skin fade.
This is overdue. Actually, this is I'm overdue for a haircut now. Yeah, you got to keep that fade. And once you get it tight, you got to keep it tight. So
You do, dude.
Yeah, I understand, guys. I understand.
oh yeah.
You realize real quick though how like once you do have like a clean like fade, you're like, oh man, like 2 weeks in, you're like, I need another haircut, but like it gets pricey. There's places now in like the city, like in New York City and Hoboken, where like, or probably not now during COVID, but pre-COVID, where you like would get a membership, and it was like X dollars a month, and you could go get your haircut whenever you wanted, but it was like crazy expensive. So like, I think it was like $600 a month at some of the places that I saw, and it's like, all right, so you need to get your haircut like once a day, and then it's worth it. And I'm like, I don't even have the time to do that. Like once a week, if I could find a place that was like reasonable for like once a week haircuts, just to really tighten it up every time, I'd be on it.
Yeah. I got a YouTube haircut from Leslie. She literally watched a video on how to cut hair and cut my hair last week.
And took off like 8 inches.
I mean, she cut off a little longer than I'd like, but it's all good. It's still,
it looked good.
It's still there.
I think my barber, he remembers saying he'll do that. Like if I came every week at the same time, same day, he would just do cleanup prices. Like, oh, just zip, 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 zip. But you know, you wait so long, they have to do the full thing up, you know?
Yeah.
But I love it. I go like now I'm on like every 2 weeks. Like I used to have the same haircut, just a longer version of it. So I could go like month or two before it really became bad. But now it's like every 2 weeks, you gotta be in there and tighten it up.
I don't even remember the last time I got like an actual haircut. It's probably 20 years now.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah. My barber made me feel old though, because like he's kind of hip, dude. And then because like you know how people like can like hard shave in the parts into their head, right? They'll just they actually take a blade and they carve it out. So he hasn't done it in the last like 4 cuts, and I'm kind of missing it because I like the clean like dividing line because I just like clean designs, even my own head. And then he was like, I said, hey, you mind shaving the part in? He was like, oh, still want the shaved part, huh? And I was like, he's like, oh, I guess. But I was like, man, I'm old already. That's not cool anymore. I'm like, dang it.
Dang.
So
see, I never went for the hard part only because I feel like once it grows in, if you're really not on top of it, you have like this weird, like visible dip, but there's still like peach fuzz hair in it. But
I know,
dude.
It works for me. I don't know. I mean, because I also work at home now, so I don't see civilization anymore. This is about as much as content I get these days. So.
Like, the interesting part about it though too, like is people's hair grows in such different ways that some people's hair is just better with it. Some you have like you have a cowlick over there and you can't do anything about it. So
hey, what you making fun of cowlicks?
Yeah, I supported
dude, I got a good one back here.
I have like 35 of them on my head.
Let me show you young Ryan. But I'll show you high school Ryan hair. I have a picture of it.
Is this Jock Ryan?
Jock Ryan, yeah, but also Surfer Boy Ryan because I was a surfer too.
Oh shit.
Let's see. This is honest. I had good hair. I definitely had Leonardo DiCaprio type hair back then.
You want to see high school Steve?
I do want to see it. Bring it up too. Where's my favorites at? I have a favorites.
You ready for this?
Yeah, bring it up.
I don't even think I've shown Tyler this.
I found mine too.
Anybody this?
Oh my god, I'm in love. It's focused.
Steve's Jack. Damn. But is that a fucking like bottom half goatee there, dude?
Dude,
I love that.
Like the bro tee. It's called the bro tee.
Oh, I can tell.
There we go. That's what I wear. Look at the glasses on the hat. Hilarious.
You look like such a bro.
Dude, that's the thing. I was never a bro.
Oh shit! I thought damn, Ryan. I feel like this is like a screenshot from like Dawson's Creek here. What the fuck am I watching?
High school Ryan. That's taken with like a wind up camera.
Oh my god, that is too funny, man.
Oh yeah.
So funny.
I love that. Here's a very early picture of Ryan doing card tricks for girls at school.
Bro, are those skids? Are those skids pants?
No, because back then it was a trend to wear like plaid pajama pants. That was like a good year.
That's kind of what skids are.
Oh, okay. They were pants. Yeah. So I basically my mom just bought me a bunch of pajama pants, and that's what I wore to school for like a year. It's just like
oh my god, that's funny.
Oh yeah.
And then here's before I cut my hair.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Damn.
Oh, I know you have full dreads too. Dang.
So they were down to my ankles. I mean my knees.
Impressive.
Crazy.
Do I have my prom? Oh, tell me about my prom picture in here. This is the best picture ever. No, I don't have it. But yeah, this is once again. Here's like here. I love it because I love. If you look at her hand, it cracks me up. Here's like early high school Ryan as well, and then look at her hand. Wind up cameras.
Dude.
It was good times. It was good times. Good times.
Crazy stuff, man.
Oh my god, that stuff cracks me up.
I wonder how many story posts we're gonna see tomorrow with those pictures up there.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, Solomon, he's probably screenshot.
Yeah, right.
I never do that, but lately being friends with him, he screenshots everything. So all this is future fodder for him as memes forever. So like, he always sends me his favorite thing he sends me is that baby that's like at a hockey game going, yes! I don't know if you've seen this, like it's like it made the news. I actually sent me the article.
Oh, like, looks like they're having like a hemorrhage. They're like,
yeah, the baby's
yeah.
I love it. I love that baby so much.
He's
my favorite guy ever.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
what's your before, pre false anchors, what was your go-to deck?
Oh man. I mean, it was obviously classic red bicycle was always my go-to staple. I grew up on that, right?
Yeah.
But then before my first collector deck that I started using a lot was the green Monarchs.
Nice.
That was
Nice.
That was like my baby. And if you saw me at a convention, I was using green Monarchs. That's basically what I used. So that's why I really wanted a green deck. That's what kind of motivated this color a little bit was I wanted like a green deck again.
Nice.
The first one, blue, I was like, I also like blue. I'm a partial to blue, but yeah. So that was my go-to deck was Monarch. I love the feel of them. I just love the feel.
Dude,
I mean,
they're such a beautiful design too.
Yeah.
That
Classy,
was literally
design.
the design that I was inspired by for my deck. Obviously it
With
doesn't
the
look
sword.
like fucking Monarch, but I wanted that same vibe,
Oh yeah. I think when I sent my V2s over to the designer, like he was looking for inspirations, I definitely said, oh, like Monarch is definitely inspiration for my deck as well. You probably can see it in the outside border with like the different kind of line designs. Right. It definitely kind of shined through a little bit there, some of the elements, but yeah, man. I love honestly what sold me on I don't know why it's their green tuck. I don't know a lot about their tucks, but it's the thickest of all the tucks I find. The green one, the blue one, and this one, they're a little bit flimsy. The green one's thick. It gets like a really thick paper, and I just love it. I love how sturdy it was.
Yeah, their white one, I like, dude. I just love their white and silver one.
Oh yeah, I have this. Yeah,
just so clean. I love it.
Yeah, I started collecting a little bit. I think I have like almost every color of their deck, even like the rare gold Monarchs. I even have those. Yeah. But
oh, nice.
Yeah, but I have a few collectors because I went to Magic Con, the very first Magic Con, and this is like maybe before cardistry really was like cardistry, right?
Right.
And then so I just got handed out all these decks, like the original Smoke and Mirrors, like all these different things, and I just kind of just tossed them in the closet and forgot all about it. And then years later, you start going through, and you're like, oh, I got Fultons, I got this, I got that, I got the original this, and you're like, holy crap, I actually have some money here apparently. So.
Dude, that's the best way when you're unaware and you have no idea and you just tap into the drawer and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Dude, well, yeah, because you really never know. Certain designers and certain decks are just going to blow up at some point. But for all of the other semi-standard, semi-larger release, you never really know. And I remember even when I first started collecting, they came out with the Mandarin Monarchs, which I saw you hold up, earlier.
Yeah.
Those, they really marketed to the whole idea of it being this is definitely going to be a valuable deck at some point. You better get your hands on this now. And I'm pretty sure they printed 15,000 of them. But, I also am sure a ton of people bought bricks of them just being I'm going to hold on to this for 10 years and it's going to be worth $100 each. We'll see.
Yeah, I think for me, I just like the color of the yellow color. So it was and I just have them on the desk. I just have them sitting here for when I'm playing around, So I like, they're cool. I mean, I like their the subtle metallic ink and all that kind of stuff. It's just nice.
Yeah, I'd love to see them do some really vibrant colors soon, like the yellow. I'd love to see an orange or a pink or something along those lines.
Yeah, yeah. I've never been into buying a bunch of decks, but then I made. Let me see. I don't know. Maybe I can show you guys. One second. Is this guy? I don't know if I can actually work or not. Oh no, I won't be able to show the whole thing. Oh well. But basically, I made a magic trick where I took a bunch of collector decks and I made a magic frame with all just single cards in the frame. Right? They look for designer, but they make it into a trick. The middle card's missing, and someone can choose any back they want. and then you just rub your hand against the glass frame, and the card appears in the frame. So it was like a art piece that was also magic as well.
Oh,
That's really dope.
So that was, and I was going to sell a bunch of them, so it motivated me to buy a bunch of them. So that's when I bought like a bunch of just random backs just to get a cool design for the frames. But I don't know. So now I have a bunch of decks that I just, I guess some of them are worth something. Like a lot of them are like old, first edition knocks that were just coming out at the time. I just happened to buy them. So
I hate to break it to you, but knocks aren't worth anything, bro.
I know, but some. I think I have a couple of them that might be a little bit more than others. You know what I mean? So,
dude, hey,
the orange.
I am a huge knock fan. I have pretty much all of them, and that's one of the reasons why I originally bought them, because they were cheap, they're cool, and you can get them all the fucking time. You don't have to worry about shit selling out. You don't have to worry about it being $19 for like a simple $250 deck. It's a way to go. That's
two decks I had a lot of that I opened and used, which nowadays I would have sold them for a lot of money. Was like I had like the Smoke and Mirrors V4s, the green ones, the V4s, I think.
Yeah.
Or V3s. Okay, V4 maybe.
Yeah,
it was the green.
Yeah.
But it was a really nice deck. It was like a beautiful deck. And then so I had a bunch of those, and then I had a bunch of the watermelon decks that came with like the cigarettes and stuff like that. Like I had the original like watermelon design backs. And those are really sought after decks. They go for like $25 to $50 a deck. Easily.
Which one?
You know what I mean?
OPC.
Yeah, they're bead back design. So bead back. I don't know.
Watermelon. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. The RJ.
Yes.
The RJ. What are they?
RJ. Someone in the chat probably can say it faster.
Yeah, RJ something.
It's like watermelon back, something like that. I can't remember now.
I'll tell you what.
But I just like, once again, I just like that B classic stock feel. It was great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look them up now too. Get me thinking about them playing cards. But yeah, I love those decks too. Those are like just freaking. They're blue.
RJRTC.
Okay.
RJRTC.
Solomon knows. He knows everything.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
did
did
in the chat.
Oh, I don't see it yet. Oh,
he was reading your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy to think, and that's the interesting thing about it too, is like you then get to this whole point where every time a D&D Smoke and Mirror deck come out, like, is it a collector's deck now, or is it a deck you can actually use? And you have to make that decision. And it's a bit of a shame because they are good looking decks, and using them is the original intention.
Yeah.
But
these are the ones I was talking about. But
nice.
Yeah.
They're kind of an ugly deck, honestly, but they just feel nice. They're not pretty. I don't think they're pretty, but then they were just sought after. Like, I think they're just rare. You can't really buy them now. So.
Yeah, they're Ohio too, so a lot of people like that old chemical feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
so yeah, they're good. I dig them. Yeah, what was your guys' first deck then? And now you have your own. So what was your first one?
My very first deck was the Blue Monarch. My second deck was the Purple Knock original, and my third deck was the Elephant playing cards Elephant deck.
Okay.
Super dope. Doesn't it still feels great, but it's super stiff. But I think it's printed by Legends actually. But I love it. I think it's great. I'm a huge Elephant fan, obviously. And so those three were my first, and I love Monarchs, one of my best.
There's my first to make Steve cry a little bit.
Nice.
And
Stargazers.
Dude, I still love the way that deck fans.
Man,
I do remember that actually.
They are pretty fans, that's for sure. They're but yeah, man.
I think that's definitely, like, you bring up an interesting design choice, like with deck of cards. Like, do you make it so that when you do a fan, it's pretty, or do you make it so that just the back by itself is pretty? Because sometimes when you start bringing the elements into the border, it looks a little weird. But then
that kind of that disconnects. It depends who it's for, right? A lot of magicians don't like those broken borders. Depending if it's a full casino deck, like a full bleed, then that's different. But they don't like broken borders for I guess depending. It depends on what freaking mood you're in, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think a lot of it's just very subjective personality-wise. Even if I'm sure you could find 10 magicians who all love different style decks of cards. Some probably love borderless, some love bordered, some love broken borders, blah blah, and like it's fine. Like I think that's one of the great things about it, though, is like playing cards. I think always have been able to be personalized to some extent, But in this day and age now, you can like truly personalize playing cards and make them your own, which is awesome. So
I'm an anti-borderless. Mostly for Magic. I realize I found out the hard way. Someone just handed me a deck of cards in the house, and I'm like, I can do tricks with any deck, and he hands me a borderless deck, and I realize all my tricks rely on like sight counting, and I realize with borderless, that's impossible. You just can't see obviously where the borders begin and end, so it makes it very hard to do tricks. You're like, so I end up doing this. Hold on a second, guys. Let me just.
What's your go-to mock deck other than false Ankus?
My go-to mark deck. What was I using? Like fully marked deck. Oh man, I don't know.
Any mark.
I mean, honestly, I was using my favorite one was like Boris Wiles mark deck was my favorite, but you can't buy it anymore. So he now you can only come in like not the bicycle back, the other back now, maiden back, whatever. So I don't know. So then I was like, not as excited about it. So. But I don't use a lot of marked decks, so I never cared. But Boris was the only one I ever used because I liked the fact that his was the only one that was like, it wasn't just one space. He had it in 4 sections, which for tricks that you're doing, it makes it very fast to find cards. Like with his the one of the few decks, if you want to find the 5 of diamonds, you could actually spread the deck and find the 5 of diamonds almost immediately. Yeah. Where you can't do that with most marked decks.
Is it a reader?
It's not a reader. It's like the number, and then where if it's placed high, there's 4. It's either here. It's in 4 spots, and depending what spot the number was the suit. Okay. So it would be like a 7, but in a 7 in the middle is the club or whatever, right? Okay. So, the nice part about that is,
have you seen Andre's butterfly deck?
Yeah, with like the edge reader.
Yeah. Oh man. I love that.
I'm not a fan of like the ones his are basically borderless cards though, right? I just don't.
Yeah, his are all borderless except for 2 decks that he has. The spring edition, which he just came out with, is bordered, and that thing is gorgeous. And then the butterflies, To
get the edge system, you have to have printing on the edge, right? So those are pretty. Yeah.
Oh man, so pretty.
And then this is his bordered one that he has that he just came out with, the spring edition.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. But again, black borders on it, so a little bit of more wear you get from that. And he prints all his with the Cardamundi B9 Slimline. Feels just phenomenal.
That gilding.
Nice. I like gilding, it looks nice. Looks pretty. That's pretty deck.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, I basically I don't. Otherwise, I was probably just using the Penguin mark deck because it's so affordable. They made it so easy to get a mark deck that's cheap. Right. And when it came out, they gave me a whole brick of them. So I was like, sweet, free deck. Nice. I'm going to use these. So yeah. But otherwise, now my favorite mark deck is the V3. And then, and I mean that not because it's mine, because it's easy to read. And it looks, and it's not a reader, but it's not also like most non-reader decks aren't easy to read, where I find this one is easy to read because it's a very visual. It's only 2 things. You're not trying to like count something or decode something. It's just a clock, which we all are used to reading clocks. And then you have a suit, which is it's like reading 2 clocks. It's really easy for me to read.
Yeah.
So
nice.
So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, just learning the suit, like black or red is pretty easy.
Cool. It's so fast. Yeah, black or red's easy. The round and flat, which like I said, most people don't know round and flat, but that one's easy too. But and just so you know, round and flat, it's a different way of doing red and black instead of being red and black. So if you spread a red and black deck, you can see it's red and black separated. Right. So round and flat is a different system, so that way the colors stay mixed, but they're for all intents and purposes they're all still separated into like half and half. Right. So it's just a different way of doing it. So it's better for magicians, so you can like spread the deck, and it looks very random. So,
interesting.
That's
cool. It's a different system. I know you guys probably haven't heard of it. Most people haven't. So
there's so many different. We always get a kick out of decks that we get from Kevin Raylick that are marked, and the guy's just freaking genius.
Oh my god, yeah.
I love Kevin. We go way back. Me and Kevin. Yeah,
he's such a good dude.
We're convention buddies, and then now we used to talk on the phone like almost every week, just to chit chat and stuff. But
yeah, he's a great dude.
He's one of the good ones too. He's a good dude. I like Kevin a lot.
No doubt. Yeah, that last deck they even just came out with the I don't have one here, but the glider back. Love that thing. So clean. It's got such a fun vintage vibe to it, and he's just like brilliant with that stuff.
Yeah, that mocking.
He showed me a new one coming out that looked really cool. I can't really I don't think it's out yet, so I can't talk about it. But it looked cool. It looked cool.
Yeah,
I look forward to it.
We'll talk after. We'll talk after.
Yeah.
We know which one you're talking about.
Okay, you guys are know Kevin.
Yeah. We try and be in the know as much as we can with those things. It helps, when you run a playing card show.
It does help. It does help. I'm sure you guys actually probably already sent you guys like 10 decks, so I'm sure.
No.
Dude, it's funny because every once in a while we'll have people be like, hey, we'd love to have you review our deck. And it's like, all right, cool, send it over. And then it's like 3 months after the decks come out and they're like, oh, can you take a look at it? And we're like, I mean, yeah, we can, but like, it's not going to do much for you. Like half the time the deck's already either sold out because it was 1,000 print run or like people have kind of forgotten about it. And like, that's the one thing we've really learned from a lot of this is like second push marketing, for lack of like knowing the real term for it, but like trying to push marketing 3 months after a deck of cards or a magic trick come out just doesn't happen.
Good luck. Yeah.
The
Magic. Yeah. Tyler and I talk about this all the time. The Magic community is so old school when it comes to drops and like doing the promotion of things. They don't, it's not like gaming. In the gaming world, like gamers, like the testers, have the game 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
And they put the thing through hell and high water to test it out, so they can give proper reviews. But we're lucky we can get stuff even before it gets dropped. There's just yes, obviously a lot of people are waiting to the last minute to get it. They don't wait to drop it. They wait till it comes in and then it gets dropped right away. But there definitely needs to be more of
that's true.
The preview, of letting people know something's coming out to create hype around it.
Yeah.
Even with the wholesalers, you have we just don't find out, being a retailer, you just don't find out about decks until they just drop. There's no, and it's like, oh, cool. Like we'll throw it up. And then everybody puts it up at the same time, but we're not allowed to talk about it because we don't know about it. So it's not like we can be like, yo, next Thursday, this deck is dropping. If you want it, let us know.
You're like, yo,
everything's
so dropping.
Hush.
Oh, right now. It's dropping right now. Sorry.
Yeah,
it just dropped. My bad.
It's so hush hush that nobody shares information in this community. It's so weird.
I guess, I don't know. Maybe because it's just the whole cloak and daggerness of how the community was built, right? It's very secretive and secret corners. But yeah, but I struggle with sending this deck out. I purposely sent it in white tux because I was like, well, this is prototype. This is not because I felt like I sent you this deck. People, even though you tell them it's a prototype, my mind is like, well, people are going to judge you based off, oh, this paper doesn't feel like crushed stock. This is horrible, Ryan. What a horrible deck, So I'm like, no, it's going to be better. It's going to be better. I swear. And I feel like I hate you guys missing the experience of the tuck because the tuck, it's going to be so gorgeous when you like look, you go, oh, and wow, I robbed you guys of that experience. I find, you know what I mean? Like,
no, you didn't. We'll still get it. We'll still get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think for me at least, and I'm a big fan of prototypes. I think it says a lot for your brand. I think it says you're ready to go. I think it says that, you're serious. Not saying that renders aren't saying you're serious, but I think it does bring it to the next level to actually be able to show the deck that you're serious about. I am serious because I got prototypes. I spent a little money and got prototypes so I can take pictures, so I can send it off to people to take pictures just to, create the hype. And I'm just a big fan, of prototypes. And even with my deck, I got prototypes and I still had my designer do renders on the photos to make it look like a foil deck, and, and I think, but the images themselves were the actual deck, so I think,
I didn't do any prototypes. I didn't do any renders except for only one of the foils was only like a render. Yeah. My tuck cases, I took the photo with my V2 deck, whatever, and then I just had it rendered on top of that way the picture is still realistic. It's not like this like black background with a rendered, it still feels real.
Yeah.
And the guy who used it looks great. I mean, honestly, I don't think anyone could tell my deck renders were fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it looked like that had the real tuck printed. But you can't achieve that look with like any of these printed. It would be a glossy box. I couldn't have it like embossed. Like he could have faked the embossing for me and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, no, for sure.
Know. I'm happy
there's
that
definitely
way.
some good rendering out there, and then there's some bad rendering. You know?
Yeah. I can't render. That's why I have a guy.
Yeah. Me too. I can't render either.
Yeah, I don't even know how it even begins, but I'm pretty good at photos, so I'm pretty good at taking the deck photos. I'm decent at that, at least. At least I think I am. You suck, Ryan. but
Dude,
all the Kickstarter photos are all me in my room.
Nice.
Yeah, like even like this, here's like I love this this box. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's such a
that's
cool
a real. It's a real photo, but obviously it's rendered on there, but the photo's real. I mean,
I really like that. This looks so good.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah,
the style of it. Yeah,
it adds so much to it, you know.
Yeah,
I showed you guys the unembossed one. There you go. You can tell that now. You can tell there's so much difference now. Look at that embossing. I know you can barely tell.
No, dude, it's funny though because you can see the little bit of like an edge of like the depth there too,
a little
which
bit.
Is really cool.
Yeah. There's a little bit of depth to it. It adds a little flavor.
Nice.
Well, I really want to have this. My original design was this outside box design was the inside of the standard V3, so it was like the flop of it, you know.
Okay.
And I was gonna flop the deck, but then the inside printing through USB-C was basically the price of a whole new deck. So I was like, well, not doing that yet. So
they're expensive, man. They charge so much freaking money. Those guys.
Yeah.
Like the best
I guess for them, I'm curious how much business we are to them to make
we're
it
like nothing to them, but still
it's relatively small.
Well, you're printing the tuck. They're not even printing the tuck. Gamblers Warehouse prints their tucks, so it's like.
So Gamblers does their foil tucks. I don't know who does their standard
foil.
Oh yeah, so they'll do. Yeah, so Gamblers will do that. I don't know who does their standard tucks though.
Probably themselves. They get standard tucks. Probably done by themselves.
But
you want to know the secret? I heard this as a little secret, a little tip. Okay. So if you're getting your tucks printed by someone else. Mm-hmm. You should always get them to print standard tucks because it comes with the deck.
That's true.
So you can get
heard about this
3, however many standard tucks that you can use for something else if you wanted to. Or
I think we use that strategy because that way you have this is the standard edition, legit standard edition with the standard box, and then you just rip open 500 decks, put them in a new tuck that Clover Press, Clover Street made, and then you're good to go. You have a
way to go, man.
The only potential downside to that is depending on who you're using for fulfillment, it's either time for you to rip it out or some places actually charge for you to unbox and then rebox.
I mean, they all charge for that shit, that's for sure.
Yeah, I started going on that route. Yeah, I started going down like having it the tuck printed separately, but then I don't know. I'm kind of a low stress and I'm like, I'm just gonna pay the extra money. I'm a low stress.
So the thing about it too is, and a lot of times like it doesn't necessarily always come down to the money, depending on how complex you want to go. Sometimes it's just the quality of it. Like we've had discussions like what I would actually be interested to see is if you do go through USPCC, reach out to Gamblers directly too and see what they quote you. And then you'll at least know what the cream on top that USPCC is putting there. And then you can kind of say, all right, like Gamblers is doing it either way. They don't care who gets, who pays them. So, and it's not like you get discounts.
I think for me, because the money is not the motivator for the deck, it's just having the deck out there. So I think unless I change it to like, I want to make this a full-time job, maybe if like a deck does really well, then I'll start looking at how do I cut the middleman out, you know what I mean? But for now, it's just about me and having a cool deck and how I want to share it with friends in the community, you know what I mean? So yeah, my motivations are different, I guess.
Dude, that's good though.
Zach wants to know what wreck is the box going to be made out of? The collector's box? The collector's box?
Oh, what wreck? Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. So yeah, he called it. I don't even know which one it is. He just buried it out. I don't know if it's a famous wreck. I think it just happened to be one of those trade ships. Let's see here. I don't even know.
It's actually a rowboat from some kid and his dad. No.
Someone's gonna get a lucky box that says 1979 on the side.
Yeah, it was because Ryan said it was just a pool from Death and Waters, originally used on ships for transporting goods. So it's like I guess they had their trade routes, and then that was just one of the ships that they just used the wood from.
That's dope.
That's really cool.
But they had a name for the wood too, which he told me what it was called, but I can see if I can find it fast enough. But yeah, it has a name. It was
False Anchor's Wood.
Paul Duck. I don't even know how to say that word. Padauk. That's the name of the wood. So yeah,
is that like podunk?
He says an African hardwood. So I'm not a wood person, but it looks like a nice wood.
Yeah.
So
it looks dope.
Yeah. There you go, Zach. Zach, did I help you? Okay, thanks. He might know about it, so I don't know.
I think that's one of the cool things about it is the box itself has a story. That's, Steve and I say all the time, like the best way to sell anything on Kickstarter is to have a story, have a compelling story. 100%. It really helps when your items themselves have and can tell their own story. So I'm excited for that, man. I think it's going to be interesting to see.
The cool thing is on that picture I showed you guys, I can show you guys one more time because you probably could see it on here. I thought this was interesting. Ryan left it on there. He could have took it off, but he left it on there. Let me see if I can have a better picture that shows. Yeah, I'll zoom it in. So on the box itself, you see like the stamp on there?
Yeah.
So that stamp is like because it's coming in and out of the country, so the wood has to be certified as like has no bacteria, no mold, no growth.
Yeah.
So that shows, and the stamps on the box when we're shipping it across countries, this wood has already been pre-approved as like good wood that it can be transported. So it's cool because that's the original stamp that was stamped forever ago, and it's still on the box.
Does it have a year on it?
I don't know. I can't read it from here, but yeah, I think it has some information on there.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's really neat that has that kind of history built into it as well. So
yeah, I'm sure you can look up the history of it.
That's true. So everyone, I guess everyone will have a different kind of look at the stamp up and find out what the heck it was about. So
that's a puzzle that's not in there. Part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Part of the puzzle that's not in the puzzle.
Even Zach, I feel like a lot of people will fall victim of the they read really deep into everything I release now. Sometimes I have a puzzle behind it, but sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? So like
sometimes he just wants to drop a post while he's on the bathroom, on the toilet, and that's it. Yeah,
I dropped the post, and some guys, wait a second. Okay, gummy worms, red, black, red, black. Red is the 6th letter of the alphabet. The 8th letter, and then they like spells ragmadot. Ragmadot's a Greek word for, and I'm like, bro. I mean, it's impressive you made those connections, but definitely stop thinking too much.
That's dope.
Oh my god,
dude! People like that, you just need to like create something. So when they get to the end point, you're like, bro, there wasn't a puzzle here, but you earned it.
Oh yeah. So some people who I know are like that. I'll purposely scribble some nonsense in there that they spend the rest of their life trying to decode, but there's no answer. So, so if they're watching, I'm sorry.
You gotta have fun with it.
You don't know who you are, but you can figure it out. That's another puzzle.
If you haven't solved it yet, you probably never will.
Oh, okay. I love it. Yeah. Well, guys, so do we have any questions out in the audience other than the wood type?
The Powerhouse.
Powerhouse, yeah. I'm curious. I'm gonna have to Google this too because now I'm curious. All the story behind this wood. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up.
Go watch Gravity Falls, and you will understand.
You should watch Gravity Falls because it's an amazing show.
So the wood stamp says something like CN-090-17. See, there's some puzzle potential here, guys.
Nice.
I have no clue what that means, but it's all good.
So I like this one question we got that says, "Who is Solomon?" And this came in from Instagram, but can you guess who submitted that question?
I'm going to go with Solomon on this one.
That's why we're not going to answer it.
Solomon, I also have to say, I think you have a lot more recognition than you give yourself credit for, especially because you've been doing a phenomenal job with the marketing of this False Anchors deck coming up, man.
Dude, you've been marketing better than Ryan.
Yeah, I see his post more than I see yours, Ryan. No joke. And I'm just like, damn, Solomon's at it again. This dude's killing it here. So
because I'm like very modest when it comes to things, and Solomon's just like no shame. He's like, put it out there, bro. Which he's doing it right. Let's be real. People don't see every post. You just got blasted. But I'm like, oh, they probably saw last week's. I'm gonna wait 4 days. And I'm like, no. He's just like, wow. Solomon's he's a machine.
Dude. I got yelled at. I got yelled at the other day for posting too many images of a couple things. So you gotta be careful with what you do, right?
Well,
you might get in trouble.
It's also good though too, because Solomon technically is. Well, Solomon is a part of the project, but I think from a visibility point of view, a lot of people see Solomon as an interested party more than anything. So it gives that kind of like Ryan's not sitting there pushing his own thing. Solomon is just really excited about this and pushing it. And that's also a great thing. Like the more people the more you can make marketing feel organic, the better it is, you know? So
wow, if Solomon's on board, maybe I should get on board. But really, he's obviously, I'm just forcing him. Actually, I actually am Solomon. He's actually not a real person. It's just my other account this whole time.
I love it.
Yeah.
What else do we have here?
Genius thing to do. You should literally create a whole account where it's just like your own hype man. You just go on there and be like, "Brian's the bomb."
The problem is
people that have done that for sure.
You know, I mean, I do that on Reddit, but like eventually people realize it's me because all I post is about Deckin Around, and they're like, why is your name blah 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 on Reddit? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I was bored and I tried to think of the most random ass name I could think of, and I really did. I
your name backwards. Yeah, you can't just spell your name backwards.
I was like, I'm gonna come up with the most ridiculous name ever because I don't think anyone has this name, and I made it up. Yeah. And then I Googled it, and there was a dude who had that name, and I felt kind of bad after. I was like, oh well, whatever.
Oh man, so, you guys just reminded me of a funny story because I had a friend in Magic, and I created the alter ego Senor Magic Pants. That was my alter ego.
All right.
So, and I did it as like I had a reason I had to do it for a real reason. But then I was like, man, I have this account, Senor Magic. I didn't have fun with this thing. So I started emailing some of my friends as Senor Magic Pants, and I would start emailing them as a fan. But then it just progressively got creepier and creepier and creepier. And I was meeting up a good friend at a big Magic gathering, and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to meet you. I'm your biggest fan. Can I have a hair sample?" You know, I just got really like into it. But then, so my buddy calls me up and goes, "I go, hey man, you going to that thing tonight?" He goes, "You know, I was, but this guy, I don't know, this guy, Senor Magic Pants. I don't know, man. He's giving me the heebie-jeebies. I think I'm canceling tonight." So now I was like, wait. Do I let my friend cancel an event I know he wants to go to, or do I come clean and tell him that I am Senor Magic Pants? You know, so
I would have been like, all right, let's go to the bar, and I would have just gotten in the car with him and driven him to the thing anyway, and then like paid someone else to pretend to be Senor Magic Pants.
Yeah.
Once you start down that road, you just got to own it, man. I love it, absolutely love it. But all right, I had one other question that came in, and this was from here we go. This is from
Senor Magic Pants.
No, this was from Kyle. If Ryan spins 3 times on his chair, can he find Canada on a map?
Oh my God, this is an inside joke with Kyle. This is really no. So I'll tell you the real quick story about this. Kyle. So I was going to send him a couple of decks, but he gave me an address, and I don't know why. It just looked like a European deck, and then I just like, oh no, man, I just don't have time to send it to like England or whatever. And then that was it. Then it became like this habitual joke.
Oh man,
about he's like, now he just thinks I'm really bad at geography.
That's perfectly fine. It's America. Our education system is terrible, so we probably are bad at geography.
So okay, got it.
There you go. There you go. North. But
very, very good point.
Let's see what else we got here. All right. Well, before we kind of wind down here, the chat seems a little bit quiet, but if anyone has any questions, drop them in. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick word from our sponsor. We're going to come back. We're going to announce who next week's guest is. We're going to take any last minute questions from Ryan, and then we are all going to wish you a wonderful evening. So let's take a quick word from our sponsor here. If I can find this, here we go.
Join us as we celebrate the marvelous and fascinating things that surround us, all in the palm of your hands. You will be mesmerized. Follow us on Instagram at Marvelous Decks and at marvelousdecks.com.
And thank you to museumkits.com for sponsoring this episode of Deckin Around. Museumkits.com strives to bring you museum quality prints of your favorite playing cards. They actually just partnered with Lorenzo from Stockholm 17 to bring you archival grade prints of his award-winning House of the Rising Spade playing cards. So make sure to check them out at museumkits.com/S17. The link will be down in the description below.
Grab it.
Yeah. And for next week's guest, I'm telling you, man, I just keep slipping on these like announcement pictures.
Get your shit together, bro.
Also, you know what it is? It's because of the time change. All of a sudden, I look down at the clock on like the day of a show, and it's somehow 7 o'clock, but the sun's still up, and I'm like, shit! Like, I gotta shower, I gotta get ready, and then like it's showtime. So I'm like, all right, forget it. But we are really excited because next week's guest is going to be Steve. Do you want to say it?
No, you can say it.
All right. Next week's guest is going to be Chloe Crawford. Chloe Crawford is a phenomenal magician, absolutely awesome, and we're really excited to have her on the show. It's going to be Should be an interesting show for anyone who is familiar with Chloe. You know it's going to be fun. If you are unfamiliar, check her out on Instagram. Yeah. It's going to be a really good time. And yeah, let's see if we had any last minute questions here.
How do you design a deck? I have some good ideas and have been doing personal graphic design for a few years. Reach out to Solomon.
Yep, Solomon's your man to go to.
Talk to Solomon. Solomon's right in here. Solomon right there.
I mean, Zachary, if you have designs that you're comfortable with as a final product and you want to go through the production process, I think that's a little bit of a different question. Sure. And the production process is relatively okay documented, we'll say. First off, you need to figure out where you want to print your cards, USPCC, Cartamundi, one of a dozen different printers. You need to figure out your stock. You need to figure out whether you want to aim your deck towards, collectors, magicians, cardists, all those kind of things. One great resource for it, not to, plug ourselves here, but check out the Kickstarter recaps. We do talk a lot about the things that people look for in a deck, which also kind of gives you a little bit of insight into the process of producing a deck. But also feel free to reach out to, honestly, any creator in the community who's created a deck before, because that's one of the great things about the playing card community and the Magic community. People who have put out decks before are willing to talk about the process, and not only the production, but the refinement process and the Kickstarter process. It's a very supportive community in that aspect. So I would say find some people who have done what you're looking to do and reach out to them either on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And then, or just use Solomon.
Yes, or reach out to Solomon. Solomon has done a Kickstarter before. He can be your go-to guy. And for anyone who forgot, even though we've been talking about today, tomorrow at noon Eastern time, the False Anchors V3 drop on Kickstarter. We're going to have the link to that down in the description below. So while it's still up on the preview and you don't want to forget it, go click the notify me button on there so you get an alert when it goes live, or make sure to tune in tomorrow at noon. Ryan, you said you're going to be doing a little bit of a live for it.
I think I'll do an Instagram live button push. I might as well, right? Go all out.
Why not? Yeah. Honestly, the one thing I will tell you is when you load up the button page, make sure to scroll down a little bit because it talks about your bank account information and all that in there.
I might not do the screen live. It might just be me pushing the button live. Yeah, I can figure it out. But yeah. But yeah, and then Zach, I guess, Zach, I was going to answer Zach's question too. So I don't know. I think you made a good point, Tyler, where it's like this: if you're making a deck for yourself, then who cares about anyone else? Just make the deck, and then. If you you can use Solomon obviously as a joke, but I'll just say you can obviously maybe he will. But I use my first deck. I use Phil Shaw. He's very designer out of Europe. He's really easy to work with. He's awesome. Yeah. So one of those guys where he's been through several decks now, and then easy to work with. So you just send him the rough idea and he'll make it print ready. You know what I mean? So
nice. Yeah, and really having people who have designed decks, if that's what you're looking for too, playing card design and graphic design, unless you're looking to do a graphic design oriented deck, are so two different things there. I mean, we do have some great graphic designers in the community who make graphic design decks like Luke Wadey, but you look at some of these really fancy collectors decks, and I think it's to some extent outside. They're really the people you're looking for are illustrators more than anything.
100%. Yeah. I think the other thing is take your time and print prototypes. Because you rush it, it's going to be poor quality. But if you want to really see how it looks, NPC, get a prototype made. And those are months. It takes a month to get a prototype. Make it. It takes forever. Set aside a good 8 months to really get a design that you're happy with. So it's
not a rush to the finish line for sure. Yeah, definitely not a rush to the finish line. And with the prototypes too, I think a lot of times people skimp on the prototype because they're worried about cost. And to be very candid about it, it saves you money in the long run. Even if you spend $500 on prototypes to get it right, that's potentially a full print run that you're not going to get wrong down the road. And if your print run through USPCC or any company is wrong because of art and you approve a hard proof, you're on the line for it for thousands of dollars. So
and here's the thing. When you print a prototype and you have it in your hand, you are way more likely to notice mistakes. Especially if you're putting that,
even small detailing.
If you show, I mean, one of the things you can do is you can riffle through, and sometimes you'll see movement. That means you're off.
Markings are off, or whatever's off.
Depending on whatever it is. So I think prototypes are great to have, even if it's printed through Zazzle. It doesn't even matter. Just print a prototype.
100%.
You'll get to see it in person. You can look through. I mean, we were talking to Jean-Luc about a couple weeks ago, and 2 of his cards, one of them was a large indice and one of them was a small indice. So it's like those things you can tell when you have the deck in front of you rather than a sheet or digitally or anything like that. So that's your answer. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you. We're excited for noon tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. We love you.
Also, don't forget
Sunday.
Ryan's clothing line drop.
Yeah, if you're a lady or your mom or someone wants some shorts, Sunday. So
look it up. Yeah.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody. We love you. Ryan, again,
thank you so much for coming on, man. It was an absolute pleasure. Honestly,
appreciate you guys.
It has been a fun time. Everyone enjoy your evening. Thank you so much. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and tune in next week or tomorrow. We're going to be dropping a magic review. So you'll have to tune in and check out what it is.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.